After 12 intense weeks of battles in the first stage, you've made it all the way to the main course. Welcome to Street Fighter League Japan 2023 for season number 6 in Street Fighter 6. My name is Vicious, here with Senkola to deliver all of the action and to update you on the latest and greatest in Japanese talent. Before we get into it, obviously, we gotta talk to you a little bit how we're changing things up with the format, bringing back the traditional home and away ruling. But I will tell you what, these 6 teams, they are gunning out for the top spots in the playoffs. This is where everything gets absolutely real. And before we get into the games, Senkola,
Brother, Saishunkan, Kumamoto, GyoGun, FAV Gaming, DetonatioN FocusMe, CYCLOPS Athlete Gaming, OSAKA, and Shinobism Gaming are the remaining 6 teams playing for the playoffs, playing for as many points as possible. Obviously, you get as many points at the first place spot, you end up in grand finals, you don't have to worry about nothing, but you want to get as many points to be up that top spot, because below that, you're playing for seeding, you're playing to make it all the way through the playoffs, which is a horrible feat to have to deal with. And this means that's going to be more great Street Fighter 6 action, because all the points, the contention right now is super close. And to be honest, who could have saw that Good Aid Squad would not make it in? Nagoya Oja Body Star would not make it in. Of all things, Hiroshima Team Izuka, despite playing better than they ever have, not making it in. That just means this season is ridiculous, and it's just a difficult thing just to have to deal with, because you have a brand new arena, a brand new game, brand new teams, and brand new switch up. And speaking of switch up, Saishunkan Kumamoto switching out Sasumo for Kabe. That's a new addition, the only new addition that we're going to have in the second part of the season, and I can't wait to see what that Ken player does.
I assume that means you're absolutely excited. Well, you should be, because these guys are playing for so much going into this, right? The playoffs are going to be ever so important to figure out who our top 4 teams really are, right? And of course, when we talk about what's really on the line, obviously, we can see where it leads to. It leads to the World Championships that are going to be happening at Capcom Cup to face up against the other champions here in Street Fighter League, including the EU base as well as the US base. But as it stands right now, this is something you need to get familiar with, right? In terms of the format, right? We still have the home and away rule. Away teams, they have to set their teams and their orders ahead of time, where the home team don't have that advantage to get the big counter picks going. The first 2 matches, obviously, 10 points apiece. That big anchor spot with 20. Well, if there's ever a case where there's a sudden death scenario, we still have that 4-player match, which is going to be 5 points awarded to the winner. So we're looking to see who racks up as many points. And as close as it was in stage number 1, it was completely unpredictable, right? We had Senkola, we had Jake Ryan, throwing it down for the very, very final week. And we didn't expect to see those types of results, because again, some of these points can sway heavily in the other team's favor depending on who's playing their best today. And that's exactly what we're going to see. We've seen such an evolution in the meta these last couple of days, these last couple of weeks even, and now I feel like, right, it's going to be so difficult to really contend against, or really call who will be the top contender going into playoffs this season.
When you talk about the top contender right now, so far it's Saishunkan Kumamoto. They're in the lead, but only slightly, because they went head-to-head with GyoGun, and they're just a little bit better. GyoGun is second, FAV Gaming third, Shinobism Gaming is fourth, fifth is CYCLOPS Athlete Gaming OSAKA, and 6th is DetonatioN FocusMe. That rounds out the top 6 spots so far, but the point contention is super close. Even from first to third, it's only a 5-point difference. Then you get even from first to 6th, it's about 65-point difference. So like 2 good days of play from DetonatioN plus another one could definitely overtake Saishunkan Kumamoto depending on what happens with them. But as we pointed out, it's going to be hard to call who is going to be able to take this. Even having Good Aid Squad, the winners of Street Fighter League Japan, and not only that, the World Championship winners, not making it in is absolutely insane, and they're all playing for as many points as possible, but all that glop on the dot. 8 million split up between first, second, and third. That's 5 million, 2 million, and first million for first through third, respectively. And you can buy a lot of clear for your hair out here, just like, I would do if I won all that yen. But either way, they're going to be playing for those points, playing for the highest contention. The highest ranking person, or team I should say, will be rounded out to be in the grand finals. And again, I don't know who's going to take it. I think all the fantasy brackets have gotten ruined and destroyed since last season, and I think it's going to be even harder to call with this season. I mean, Team DetonatioN FocusMe definitely the one to focus on right now. I feel like them getting in at the end and having Fudo and these other strong competitors join their team is making them a threat. But you can't count out the new kids on the block, CYCLOPS, Athlete Gaming, OSAKA, Saishunkan, Kumamoto having Kabe on their team. And actually, speaking of them, Seoul will be fighting against GyoGun, so the first and second will be fighting off against each other in FFL Gaming, fighting against DetonatioN FocusMe, then CYCLOPS fighting off against Shinobism Gaming to round out the day.
I've been really paying attention to the scene out here in Japan, and just overall with a lot of the teams as well. They've been getting very much so involved with all of their players in the esports ecosystem, specifically for the fighting game community. But for Street Fighter 6, man, competition is really starting to heat up, and you can check that out for yourself, right? If you follow over on Twitter, Capcom_esports, you can check out all of the other players and see what they're up to. Over time, you're gonna just pretty much be fully invested, right? You're looking at some of the biggest names that we can ask for in the FGC, and eventually maybe see yourself playing just as good as they are. And again, it's been so influential and actually so instrumental to the progress of some of these players to check out every single one of these streams, because you get to check out their CFNs as well. You get to see how the meta is ever changing and evolving, and it's been quite a journey. You can see some of the teams also that haven't made it into the second stage that are also streaming this event. So really important thing to note, man. Be sure to follow along and support every single one of these guys if you can, to just follow along overall.
Yeah, I mean, this is helping the scene explode with all these people restreaming. And now we're gonna get into our very first match, Saishunkan Kumamoto versus GyoGun, starting off the day, the first and second seeds. First, we're gonna start with GyoGun swimming upstream, led by the Prince of Rapids himself, Mizuha, getting up that top spot out in the recent World Warrior with that Scamby Cammy. Right after that is going to be the Hero Sunrise himself, Moke, on that Chun-Li play. Probably the best in the business with that character so far. After that's going to be Mr. Optimal himself, robotic one. That is a Macho Bone coming through with that Kin. They're getting better and better every time we see him. Last but not least is the 2D God, the one that we all pray to, Mago, on the Cammy, on the jury, leading the charge. This team, again, second spot. We have not seen them operate like this in a long time. It's been great to see them kind of kill it out here in League.
No doubt, let's take a look at the home squad, who have been ever so dominant, in my opinion, in the first stage when we got the replacement. Yo, Kava, the former speed skating pro, by the way, coming into the fray with the Ken, followed by the prodigy that is Higuchi. And he's been so dominant as well with his guile. Now, of course, followed by the little devil himself, it is Shuto, backed by the ever so destructive, demonic, the brute king himself, Demo. This is the composition of Saishunkan Kumamoto. You could expect them to be so sick. Yo, damn, yo, Kabe! Oh, he's so sick. He's actually so sick. He is a professional speed skater, by the way. I don't know if you guys had time to check out his profile and who he is as a person. The fact that he's using a speed skater pose, that's godlike. That's actually godlike.
That's so sick. Man, he's such a sick dude. He used to play Zeku back in Street Fighter 5. He led the charge with that character, and now he's playing Kid. And now we see the away squad going up. It looks like it's going to be Mizuha off the bat. Now going real quick back to Mizuha, getting a high position, third at World Warrior Japan, and already doing well out here at Street Fighter League. I like him leading the charge for this. And then in the middle is Moke. Then last but not least, the 2D God with the Cammy, the character that I feel like we both kind of seen him work with better than the jury, maybe more often than not. Maybe I'm thinking of recency bias, but I definitely like that character more than his jury. I think he's more certified with that gameplay that he liked to do. That's a really strong starting squad, even if it is on the away side where they have that disadvantage of having to put their players and characters up first. Let's see what Saishunkan Kumamoto has to do as a rebuttal. I hope Kabe gets to come up first, to be honest. I'd like to see him come up very, just off the bat, honestly, just to start the charge, get him comfortable.
Yeah, no doubt. With looking at the current roster right now, you're looking at the away side, who they put up, GyoGun. right? Yeah, okay, so Kabe is going to be the first one up. I do like this challenge. I think Ken does a fantastic job of checking out, pretty much countering a lot of the things that Kami wants to do, playing a fantastic ground game, also being able to consistently check the air approach. As you saw the order, Mizuha's coming up first with Kami, followed by Moke, then Mago, Triple M, right? It's always actually, technically, they're all starting with M's because Machibo's on the bench. But yeah, you're having a roster currently comprised of 2 Kamis and a Chun-Li, right? I think, again, Kabe coming up first, his introduction to the league, I think is going to be fantastic. Ken versus Kami, I genuinely feel like is going to be, I think just fine for Kabe. It's just a matter of whether or not he can take down the man who's in front of him rather than the character.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the case. I feel like that matchup's kind of even out. You know, you see a lot of Ken players playing a little bit closer. You know, at CQC, you see a little bit closer, like more compact, like with light punch and medium and things like that. Medium kick. Stand medium kick too as well. Like it used to be, we can't throw out fireballs, so they figured out that if you do a little bit closer and higher intentions with the buttons, you'll stay A-OK. Last time these two teams fought though, Seoul took it 25-20. They had that sudden death. It was Sasimo that took it over Machibo after he had won that anchor match. Let's see if that happens again. But now we have Kabe leading the charge. Let's see if he can fill up those big shoes that Sasimo was beginning to do before he had left. And again, we might be seeing, I don't know if they're going to be able to switch out like for the playoffs, if they will even do so. But I'm definitely curious to see how Kabe's going to be working in a team-based environment. We've seen him solo. He's been great in Road Warrior. He's been a strong competitor. We've seen him work in a lot of tournaments and placing top spots in Japan. I want to see what happens when he's in a team-based environment. That's a way different story for a lot of players. So we'll have to see what happens here. And again, this matchup, as we've seen it develop, as Angry Birds developed it, other Ken players have developed it, it's gotten easier for Ken. I feel like it's pretty even out here. So it's going to be definitely a player versus player sort of thing, and that's going to matter out here in Street Fighter League. It's not just about setting up the characters in the matchups. It's going to be how these players play against each other, how aggressive they are, how defensive they are. Those are matchup style of things too as well. And in a game where there's a lot of ways to play your own way, that's even more important. I feel like 5 had that, but it's even more so with 6 because of the drive system. So we'll see what Kabe does as his first inaugural run. Right now we see the run right here for the side. Mizu up pretty good amount of points. We're getting to see the 10s and 10s and 10s and the 20 right there. The anchor match last time we saw him against FAV Gaming. He did not get to play against Seoul last time. So let's see what he does against this team as he leads the charge. Mizu. Also, by the way, both these cats stream. A lot of these cats do stream. Kabe also streams quite a bit. Speaks very good English. Has a very good community too as well. Make sure to check out their streams. Say hello to them. You can even ask them questions what they think of matchups. It's always a good idea to do so to get another idea of how things are running with this game by talking to these top-level players and asking them, hey, man, what do you think about this matchup? Or where do you stand when you have to fight this character when she's got bar or what have you? So make sure y'all keep tapped in to all these players and when they're streaming. Mizuha, definitely a CFN monster, by the way. Definitely go into his streams and you see him on a 50-40 win streak, just destroying the competition. But Kabe, no slouch out here. Very first match of the day, Kabe coming to play for Saishunkan Kumamoto, going up against Mizuha. All right. Got to keep it compact. I feel like that's the way to play. As Fish has said before, Ken has some great ways to anti-air. Crouch, fears, DP, sharp angles too as well. Gets the throw, no anti right there. Can't anti every single time Kami gets in. Standing like a mix-up, she's going for dive kick, jump, fears, jump, heavy kick, empty, low, or throw. Speaking of throws, there's a throw right there. Has him caught up in the corner, drive rush in with the meaty. Dive kick, count hit, but no follow-up though. Kami playing very pensive. Usually a little bit more aggressive. Must be first day jitters. All it takes is one good conversion though to even things out. Oh, the drop of the pickup gets a throw.
it's so oppressive, right? When you're playing off against a Cammy, it's so difficult to really try to stop her from doing the things that she wants to do. You sometimes find yourself in the corner way too often. It's a very aggressive start from Mizuha to using the OD dive kick to start things off.
Smart option, because you know you want to poke with crouching media kick. But speaking of the bless button, it allows me the Dragon Lash side switch DP. Oh, he switches up. He's going to drive rush forward immediately. Just as a little, you know, feint right there to maybe bait out a possible ODDP from Mizuha on reaction. Nothing doing though.
And it's such a scary position to be in. You can see Kabe really weary of the buttons that can come out from Cammy. Now spin knuckle checking the low as well. He thought he was going to be able to move out of the way, but no sir. Crouching heavy punch as the meaty forward throw now. What are you going to do about this pressure? Coming in with a medium, backing off. There's so much control and pressure at the same time. Really moving back and forth. Mizuha also switching sides with the spinning knuckle. What was that?
Oh no. Unfortunate drop, wasted all that bar. You going far right to the east side of the screen. And in burnout. This is going to be dangerous. Gen rise for days. Oh, drops though, but we still pick those up.
Damn, was that shades of Zeku without run stop action here too?
You know, he posted a comparison between those two characters. He was like, it's meant for me. And I can see it there. I can see it there. Definitely a better character though. Ken in this game and even in the last game.
Yeah, no doubt. It makes a lot of sense too. I think also that punish counter, I thought that was really, really disgusting, right? In a good way, in a great way. It went from one side to the other off of 2 hits or 2 sequences. That's kind of godlike.
Oh no, with the throw, but no crouching media kick. Follow-up though wasn't close enough. So the corner pressure has been ever so important for Mizuha. He's been able to capitalize every single time. You're not fine, you're definitely dead spinning all the bar. Mizuha's corner pressure has proven to be too difficult for even Kabe to deal with right now.
Clearly there's something that needs to be done with Kabe. You know what's funny? I think a lot of the hits that he had were based off of being punished off of his movement. I haven't seen anything sort of reckless. I haven't seen anything kind of like come out from the use of his drive gauge in terms of reversals. That was actually such a sick cross-cut DP coming in from Kabe. Get the uppercut. Now he gets the... He backs away. He goes for a jump back roundhouse. Interesting.
Curious, so like maybe like a dash up throw, possibly? Is it like a read? Not sure, but...
No, I don't know.
Put him right back in the corner.
Even if you were to bait out like OD uppercut, it's not even going to be able to escape that. But I love this pressure too coming in from Ken.
Jump back again.
See, okay.
Okay, so
we're seeing it.
All right.
We're seeing it. So most of the time in the corner, right, Ken's can get you in that throw pressure, can get a successful set of throw loops in, I think more often and better than other characters. So I do like the anticipation and read off of the OD dive kick that could come up from Mizuha. Really smart.
See the adjustment though. Drive rush heavy kick, waits and baits, parry to build up some of that bar too as well. Level 1, hasn't caught in the corner. This is where Kabe has been faltering quite a bit, but he strikes back with the jab, gets the DP in there, toe tap, but he's in burnout. This is bad. Let's spin that super and have drive impact also. Can't leave no gaps though.
Oh, the neutral jump was everything. That's one of the main concerns with the dive kick. Shipujin Raikak coming on in. The throw will kill. And it does. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of conditioning and early conditioning against Mizuha's options on wake up, freezing him entirely to net him that first game. Really well done from Kabe.
He's a lap rat. You've seen him, you know, have these wild like punishes for very minute things, and it's coming clean out here. The jump back against the dive kicks. Cross cut here for Mizuha. 5-piece DP, drive rush, parry. It's gonna go for that positional advantage, yeah. Try to get that crouch pierce with immediate OD DP. The side of Kabe, routing it back.
Damn, that was a fierce too. That was a counter hit. Standing fierce. What a good read. Good time to really throw out some of these normals against Kabe. But Kabe, he's not gonna go down quietly. He's been throwing some normals of his own. We got the light to stop the rush. And now a rush of his own.
Avoids the dive kick.
Man. Oh.
Cross DP. Drive rush throw. That'll do it. Kabe on set point. This dude is turning up like volume.
parry. We're gonna get, yes sir, the bait. I'm loving that. I'm absolutely loving that coming in from Kabe. So smart. 2 steps ahead. Not a lot of players do stuff like that, especially off of a perfect parry.
So I'm burnt out, but definitely not out of options. Going at that level 3. Dang, dive kick, the drive impact. What a reaction. Now some call up in the corner, trying to get the dive kick again. But Kabe is out of there.
Back throw, realignment towards the corner. Level 3 is on deck for Mizuha. You can see Kabe trying to bait. Yes, sir. He's trying to bait a reaction out of Mizuha. Forward throw again. Drive up towards it. No, Mizuha's not going to be overzealous. He's not going to overextend. He's going to wait for the error that comes out from Kabe, specifically within this range, or maybe get a dive kick. Another throw rings out for Mizuha. Tense moments, and that's a classic. Nobody ever expects the hooligan at the last second. The command grab coming in for Mizuha, all tied up, match point for both players.
I do point out something really correct here. The fact that Kabe is not able to force anything out of Mizuha, like no errors. Mizuha staying strong, standing his ground, but not letting him falter. Nice call from the corner. Gets a throw right after that tick hit. Drive rush in again. Bad situation. One hit in the level 3 will be all he needs. Empty low, blocks it out. Kabe not doing anything, froze it, deer in the headlights. Gotta strike back.
Oh, that was so dangerous. Hooligan, yeah, you still able to get the force knockdown. Being able to juggle follow-up also. He gets the dive kick. There was an attempt at crouching heavy punch. You saw the animation. Kabe at the wrong place at the wrong time. Possibly could have anti-aired with an uppercut instead. That's just, that's so unfortunate, but great for Mizuha. Very, very lucky circumstance for him and Team Saishunkan, or sorry, and Team GyoGun.
You know, I feel like any other Kami player may have been baited a little bit more often than not, but Mizuha staying solid, standing his ground, put Kabe on the back foot. He was like, bro, what do I do? This dog isn't following, like, you know, falling for drive rush or whatever. He's not falling for my jabs and my feints and things like that. He's not doing ODP bust out. You typically see against like drive rush and reaction. None of that is happening. And so when Kabe, as soon as he sees that he's frozen, Mizuha goes in for hooligans, medium kicks, jumpers, and things like that. And just a wrong choice of anti-air was unfortunate for Kabe. But for a first showing, not super bad for that team. However, you want the points though. So unfortunate. But Mizuha still get the first victory for their team. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I think this is it shows a lot of promise, right? I think just really tightens up the competition. As great of a character DJ is, I feel like in the current meta, Ken is definitely like the complete package, complete package plus, if you will, right? DJ also has like a lot of high damage. He has an anti-air. Sure, he has great normals in the footsie range, in the footsie department, but overall, man, I think Ken, he does the job and excels at it in a wide variety of different ways too. Taking a look at the current stats, right? Nothing really too explosive. I mean, we've seen 1 out of 7 in regards to the throws tech, but 6 out of 24 on the other side. That kind of shows you the strength of the throw game for both of these characters. That's like the big picture that we're looking at. How often do we get to see some of these throws tech? But yeah, from the side of Saishunkan Soul Kumamoto, right, Kabe, he's been on the receiving end of a lot of these throws just because Kami is able to smother you so often. And again, as Sikola had mentioned, man, sometimes when you're stuck in the corner against Kami, it's really hard to predict what she's going to do next on offense.
Yeah, it is hard, especially with someone like Mizuha who stands his ground with a medium kick, goes with hooligan every so often. He has a lot of varied approaches that you don't typically see from Kami players, especially at that mid-range. It's like maybe at like the very last minute you see like hooligan, but he also implemented hooligan previously up in that match. So I like him switching up what he does, and he does get 10 points for his team. Now we move on to Moke, who comes up to play against Moke. I think this is one of those moments where like it gets a little bit more difficult. You can't set up Higuchi. I don't know if Guile does that well against Chun-Li, because I feel like people say things back and forth with that character. So I'm curious to see if we see JP come up for like Nemo. And what if we're going to see the Modern Marisa come up? Or maybe that's saved for the anchor match, possibly? Oh, it's going to be Higuchi. Okay. I've seen the back and forth on this matchup a lot, so I'm curious to see how it's going to land between these two players. Okay, obviously, one of the best in the business when it comes to this character. Has proven so out here at Street Fighter League Japan and in the World Warrior tournaments. I do believe, okay, the last one, Moke got 7th at World Warrior Japan 3rd, so like, he's definitely out here with this character. But Higuchi, already a shining star in previous seasons and in this season 2 with this guy.
He's been really setting the pace for Guile players around the world. I feel like we've seen such a stark contrast in regards to how Higuchi's performed overall and how some of the Guiles over in the States have performed overall when we're trying to make that that comparison. Even with the Kainu too, when we're looking at the EU scene, there's such a huge variance between these 3 types of Guiles in these 3 different regions. Higuchi, I feel like, as sharp as he is, I feel like there are some certain blatant weaknesses. There are moments where he does get rushed down significantly, and that's happened, I think, a couple of times over in stage number 1. But again, I think he has one of the better win records overall. So this is the cat, man. This is the guy that's been really considered as the anchor position. So seeing him now in coming up 2nd right now, coming up in the 2nd matchup is very interesting. So very much so just trying to get their feet wet with the first episode of stage 2. They're looking to pretty much take down some of the bigger matchups that they know they can.
Yeah, you know, we look at the spread here for Moke. He lost his first 3 matches and then won the rest all the way through. So he's like 5-8. And as you mentioned, Higuchi is, I believe, 5-6 right now. And even though the moments, like, you did mention that, like, you know, he's had some troublesome moments, I feel like it takes him a little bit to warm up in all of his matches. Even if he does win, it takes him a little bit to kind of get a hold of what to do on defense. His timings for flash kicks, when to parry, when to, you know, rebuttal with a button and things like that. It's been hard for him to grasp that compared to the other Guile players that are in other areas. Don't get it twisted, though. He is amazing when it comes to checkmate scenarios. He is amazing when he does get a handle on things. He turns up like volume when need be. He's going to have to, because Moke has been super dominant, cleaning up a lot of these legendary cats, becoming a legend of himself, and being, I feel like, a very clinch player for the GyoGun team. His timings with Hazachu have been fantastic. His conversions with his combos, ending things to save up setups, continuously looping pressure over and over again. So he always has SA bar at the bottom to just convert in a level 2 in the corner carry and a lot of damage over and over again, even in the same round. He's just the complete package when it comes to Chun-Li.
It feels that way. It genuinely feels that way. A lot of players would agree as well. But looking into it, man, it's very tough, I feel like, for Chun-Li to find some of these consistencies against some of the other characters as well. But at the same time, when you have a guy like Moke who's done a great job of navigating himself as a pro player and really piloting his characters to success, I feel like there's been so much more that Chun-Li players are just kind of sleeping on. Like, I feel like there are certain ways to conquer certain matchups and really find success with this character. It's kind of funny how history kind of repeats itself. I know it's only been a couple of months into the game, but I feel like there's something about Chun-Li that makes me feel like she could be easily a top contender. She has the tools, man. I think one of the big inconsistencies right now are maybe like the anti-air department, right? Those 10 show kicks, having to stand up twice over to successfully get an anti-air could be a little bit problematic for some of the characters that have really extensive jump-in normals, but we'll get into that a different time. Again, let's see how it goes. It's Moke versus Higuchi. Here we go, game 1.
We see that upside down kick quite a bit. Also Hazachu too as well. The upside down kick, the low crush, the crouching unit kick, and of course a Hazachu to get to the fireball. Gets to pick up with the stand or the jump fears. We trying to go for the Hazachu again. Still, look at that. Rerouting himself and getting a conversion, double dashing in. Text the throw. OD gets the knockdown. Back to full screen.
What do you do about all this? What do you do about all this? You're hanging back. You're throwing fireballs of your own. Moke still maintaining the life lead. You tried to check the drive rush, but the early normal from Higuchi with a big counter as well. So smart. Forward throw. Moke doing an excellent job of covering all the bases too and slowly whittling away at Higuchi's life. One touch away as well. He's in burnout, so he's big chilling for a little bit. The chip damage, he can afford to take it, Saint.
Yes, he can. He's willing to do so. OD still recovers in time to stay fine. Perfectly done. Sending out that OD fireball for the express purpose of having enough time to get that DP potential kick right after it. Man, this dude is big chillin' up in this matchup.
And it's something we thought would not even occur, right? I thought overall Higuchi would have a little bit more presence with the booms, and here we go. Speaking of, solid puncher incoming. Couple of booms to follow up behind. There it is, the slow one. Oh, I think, yeah, the objective here was to force the burnout. Drive impact just within range also. Big damage incoming, scoring the knockdown after this link. The crispiest of links, damn! Higuchi, I see you.
Ooh, meaty overhead. Close to that. He's gonna get that flash kick right after. Oh no. Didn't have the bar, but still picks it up with the Sonic Boom. Yeah, okay.
That was a really slick safe jump setup. Okay, I see you. That was beautiful.
You know, Gao had it like that. You gotta be careful with that bar he's utilizing. I feel like being in burnout's getting worse and worse as Gucci's trying to tail on in, allow that chip, and get those checkmate situations. Nice anti-air, finds the drive rush overhead, of course.
The forward throw, she's able to do this over and over again. Oh boy. Gets the German suplex. Faking out the boom initially, Higuchi throwing out the OD, and of course, oh no, the big drop! The big drop from Moke, hopefully he doesn't pay for it. Drive reversal is there, and he still checks Higuchi with the low forward. Immediately spinning the bar this time as well, putting himself in an overdrive. Sorry, burnout. Absolutely worth it. Higuchi looking a little perplexed.
It's just like, what do you do? Like, you want to throw out the booms, but those are getting deleted and defeated by the Hazanshu. And you stay at the right range to be able to at least call that out. Maybe can't react every single time, but even the idea of doing so, this character getting close, is dangerous. You want to use your normals, but her normals are really good. Stand fears, crouching medium kick. A lot of these things lead into the serenity stance cancel for that corner carry. And then he's building up all this bar that leads into level 2. And even though Moke is in burnout, it feels like he's not in burnout. He's fighting absolutely fine. I thought it'd be problematic, but Higuchi is like, bro, you're supposed to be afraid of me. This is the whole thing. I'm the Baron of burnout. You're not afraid of me? That's crazy.
Yeah, it really helps that Chun-Li has such a great time with fireballs, in my opinion, right? She has a fireball of her own. She does have a Zanchu as that threat to go over a Sonic Boom correctly if she has that right read. So yeah, overall, just the presence, the mind of Moke to kind of hang back in that range to get that reaction is, I feel like, the bigger threat for Higuchi, even though he scored the even though he scored the burnout. Excuse me, man. English is hard at this hour. But yeah, Higuchi, we'll see if he can find the answer, find the counter towards the really, really stern wall of Chun-Li.
Moke said he had been practicing for Gao. He had expected Higuchi was going to come through. And the problem is, you talk about these fireballs, it's hard because the light one, you travel right behind. Medium one's great for zoning. And heavy catches people on that jump, you know? And OD can definitely cut through a lot of these Sonic Booms as well. And some of these fireballs, I think Heavy actually can keep up with the heavy Sonic Boom of the likes of Guile. So she can zone with the best of them.
That was a punish counter a little bit too close, I feel like, with that knee bullet. No whiff punishes from this side of Moke, but the second one rings out from Higuchi, finds the mark with the low medium kick. Now gets to really bully with booms. It's up to Moke to move on in there, but at the risk of possibly losing drive kick and some life if he mistimes some of these booms as well.
Oh man, the rhythm of booms is way different. A lot more spent for OD every so often. Throwing out the light, and look at that. OD get the knockdown. Moke at least expects. He's in though with that driver situation after the fireball. Nice conversions. Race hands after that stand fierce. But the back throw on wake up will put Moke to sleep for a little bit. Higuchi getting better about his zoning.
And immediately off to the aggression, right? The drive rush. No punish on the soul bot. Moke might have been a little bit overzealous on that. Hazanchu trying to check the Sonic Cross, but instead finds an opening regardless against Higuchi. Oh. Anti-air 10 show, yes sir.
Perfect. Well done, he set him okay. He's been able to find anti-airs more often than not, I feel like. Not let the character jump in and get things started, but things are getting started right now with the baby booms. Drive reverse to back him up a bit. He's in burnout, but again, bro, he don't care. Dash up, throw, dash up, gets the meaty. Oh no, this is bad. They're gonna pick up with the jump fears. They're gonna set up 2 as well if need be.
Yeah, that walk speed is something so intimidating, right? One of the faster characters in the game. She can't just kind of like walk up after her throw to apply pressure. Oh boy. This, yeah, Moke is something fierce to fear, man. He's been doing such a great job of just intimidating that space of mediums, low medium kick especially. One low confirm can do it against Higuchi. Higuchi needs like a couple of more touches, right? Even with a single bar, even with drive gauge, yeah, that's not gonna be enough damage, I don't think. Yep.
Correct. Still, a lot of ways you can get in, but the anti-air is right there. Crush Fear still throwing the fireball just in case you get a little extra damage on top to make him drop. That was really sick.
Damn. Post KO damage. Street Fighter 4, is that you? Where's that been?
Round 1. Game to game now. Oh, we started off the party immediately. Drive rush, crouching, medium kick, initiating with buttons instead of booms. I kind of like that from the side of Higuchi.
Very much so a repeat of the previous round, right? Higuchi wants to be the aggressor, it looks like, to force the hands coming out from Moke. And I like this, that mid-range aim. Oh, what did we talk about? What did we talk about? Some of the inconsistencies of the anti-airs. Chun-Li sometimes falls susceptible to just that. The Sonic Booms are now, they could be present for Higuchi if he wanted to. And he's really changing up his timing. Speaking of timing, excellent time to get the counter, but Moke forward throw after that.
Able to land. Did it preemptively. Drive reverse to back him up a bit. Can he make the most out of this chip? He's going to go for level 2 immediately. I kind of like that option. We haven't really seen him go for that level 2. He believed he could do it without it, but he's like, I got to make sure it's a job well done. Yeah, the OD immediately.
And you saw Moke kind of shaking his head too and just named for the lack of defense that he had there. He also had 2 bars to his name. He still has 2 bars to his name. He could have threatened with it, against the Sonic Booms. And Higuchi now in full control, drive rushing again, being pretty aggressive and switching up between normals and Sonic Booms. Man, it's been all normals thus far.
I like that. Takes a throw, but still, the switch up is a little bit harder to read here for Moke. Unfortunately, he's not able to get a pace on how he wants to play. With the fireball, trying to chase him down, that light fireball. Higuchi doesn't leave too much room on the table, tries to get a jump and blocks though. Moke not even going for the anti-air in that sharp angle.
Crouching fierce to start things off. Man, what a normal to the side on 4, the meaty level 3. Is this actually gonna be enough? I think he might be living by just a pixel if he does. Yes, sir. Oh, and the fierce, you thought you could get out of the corner for free? No, you gotta pay that 5-fist fee.
It's a lot. With inflation?
5 fingers. Excuse me. I actually increased the size by accident. That was the inflation in effect. It was actually only 5 fingers because 5 fists are way too many.
That's a lot. A lot more legs though when it comes to Chun-Li. Wanna get that coming through? Yeah, the Hazanchu cutting through. The fortune. You don't feel like you can't even throw out a Sonic Boom against this character. But now we got that level 2. To equalize things a little bit more ambiguous. He finds a whip punch against the back fist. It misses. Storms. Oh, trying to find an opening point. The baby booms. The Sonic. Booms but misses. I think the flash kick, and that's going to be a fortune drop. That's it. The 4-piece Moke. Fantastic play with this Chun-Li.
Damn. You know, it's so hard to predict, man. Higuchi looked like he was starting to figure out the pieces to the puzzle. He was putting it all together, really. I thought his aggression from the aggressive adaptation, I should say, midway through the set was looking like something great. I thought that was going to lead to his victory, but yeah, Moke proven otherwise. Damn, that's one of the matches I definitely have to reassess and analyze again, because that was something I feel like that could have been in Higuchi's favor. No?
Yeah, I really felt like when he hit that level 2, I was like, okay, that's the way you want to play. Get that burnout, really take advantage of that. But it just feels like Moke's game plan of just being aggressive, being close to burnout, or in burnout really didn't matter to him enough, and Higuchi not taking things into consideration. Running that back fist, maybe that was a mistake, but you can't have those in Street Fighter League because Moke taking advantage of everything given to him. You know, I feel like also Moke not taking off Hazachu off the table when it doesn't work is also a clear-cut answer, I think, to why Higuchi maybe felt uncomfortable and maybe felt a little bit more unusual. Look at the anti-airs on the side of Moke. 5 out of 7, quite a bit when you consider how bad or how difficult it is, I should say, for potential kicks to reach. On the side of Higuchi, not so often. 1 out of 2, obviously, you know, half. But a lot on the side of dominance in the aerial ground and the aerial game and the ground game. I feel like all that led to Higuchi just not able to get that grasp and keep that momentum going as much as he'd like to.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that. The ground game was just really intimidating. You have Chun-Li, who has a complete package too. She has a fireball. She has a way around fireball, multiple ways around fireballs at that. Her walk speed is tremendous, man. I gotta say, that walk speed also off of a knockdown can really be intimidating. And having just those long limbs for the counter pokes, that could be really important. But not even just the long limbs in terms of like the counter poke game. I think there was a lot that was said with even the shorter limbs, right? There was a lot of counter pokes, a lot of punish counters, I should say, with punishes, with crouch jab that led to big damages. So I will give it up to Moke for the big confirms that he had that net him some big damage as well, utilizing the drive gauge follow-up afterwards. So I think, yeah, the way that Moke, as we talked about it before, right? We prefaced the matchup with this. Moke has been able to professionally pilot some of these characters to success, Chun-Li being one of them, man. Really impressive.
For our final match, we'll see what happens here. Mago versus Nemo. He said he's going up to the Cammy first, and I feel like that's a character that I personally like seeing him play a little bit more often because I feel like that has a little more stability for him versus the jury. Things might have changed. We've already had like, what, a 2-week plus break, so things might have changed. He might have gotten the jury up if need be. But he's going to start off with the Cammy. Of course, Nemo on the JP. Maybe there aren't many matchups where Aki would be replaced with JP. We're talking about complete package. I mean, that character definitely complete package in many ways. Normals, has the best reversal in the game, dumps out the damage, has some of the best mix in the game, of course, and this is the Brute King Emperor himself that will leave nothing to chance. So I'm curious to see how Nemo's going to be operating against the likes of Mago, who's had some time to maybe deliberate on how to buff up not only his jury, but get his Cammy in order as well even further.
Yeah, no doubt. Just a little bit of a side note. These guys are such goobers, man. Mago and Nemo are some of like the funniest cats, and I really love like the back and forth. It reminds me of like older Street Fighter titles where you get like the special intro for certain characters, right, to start things off. That's exactly what it feels like between Mago and Nemo, right? Mago with his translation, obviously, he says, "At last, we face each other. I'm gonna win." And then Nemo, his rebuttal is, "I'm gonna beat him up." That's like, it really is. It's so entertaining, man. It feels so good to be back also with the stakes on the line here, officially here in the second stage. Coming into it now, just taking a look at the matchup, Mago versus JP. All right, so obviously Mago has been playing a lot more Cammy recently, so I do admire that. However, going up against JP, this guy's been pretty much terrorizing the streets of ranked, terrorizing the streets of local tournaments, weekly tournaments at that, and also the mean streets of social media. But let's talk about this a little bit on a serious note. What do you think it is about Cammy that you feel could be beneficial for this JP matchup? Because if you notice, if you paid attention to the NA scene, there are certain players that kind of go for a switch up to Cammy. Specifically, I'm highlighting Knuckle Doo, right? If he doesn't want to play a bad matchup against JP, he'll switch to Cammy more often than not. Why do you think that is?
It's the angle of the dive kick that Crouch Fierce doesn't always reach. You know, forward heavy kick, you gotta get prevented with it, or preempted with it, I should say. That mixed up with the jump-ins is something that JP has to consider. That's why in the early days of Street Fighter 6, it was like, what, Kim, Cammy, and a few other characters that had that weird angle with their jump-ins or their aerial approach that made it difficult for JP. Now things have gotten a little bit more even. The JP player has to really think about that approach. I think it is more even nowadays, but I think Cammy could definitely give this character trouble. Also, OD spin knuckle and normal spin knuckle get through the fireballs too as well and start the party off. That's going to be a great access point for the character, but bro, the whip punish though with the crouching middle kick. Oh. Mago got in for a little bit.
We saw the bait. No, I agree. We even saw that bait a little bit from Mago not being able to get it off of the throw bait. Oh, that would have been kind of funky if he actually got a juggle after the juggle overhead from the departure. A ghost will do it, but it's going to be a departure sandwich. The teleport is there, and so is a throw escape. Mago getting a big punish counter, not finishing his play, though. That's the second time. He's got a big punish counter opportunity, but drops it.
Now things I'm seeing, like, as this matchup develops, like, stand medium punch quite a bit. Stand fierce, obviously a great button, but don't play that mid-range game, but you can't be whiffing, can't be missing against a cat like Mago. He's a 2D god for a reason. Got to be able to capitalize on this corner pressure, though.
Yes, sir. Tracking down the teleport this time and the perfect parry. Being able to walk up and fierce for the punish counter. I love that. That was so slick from Mago.
I see someone hiding that crouch fierce like that. About to be a wrap. However, Amnesia saving the day off the backboard. This is bad. Mago gonna get hit with that level 3 in burnout. Nemo. See that sigh of relief just for a little bit. Hasn't burned up, but definitely not an option. That level 3 is definitely gonna help. Equalize thinks you cannot whip anything if you're Nemo. You have to be very careful still.
Oh, is that far enough? Oh, you are actually barely within range. Damn, that was a calculation if I ever seen it. Nemo was looking at the horses in the background. He's like, all right, I'm at least 2 horse lengths, animation-wise, to get this drive impact. Let's see how that works out. And it really was just at the very, very tail end of that drive impact. Really impressive.
Yeah, we hit the tip with it. It could have been a reaction like super, you know, you gotta be careful of those things. But very smart stuff from the side of Nemo to calculate that perfectly. And the bait, you'll take that trade. You see the final way outside that corner though. This will help. OD now sets up the departure. Clear for takeoff. There's the throw. Punish counter 2 as well. Extra damage.
Nice snipe out against the jump back. Oh, but still, speaking of sniping out, the air option does get completely defeated off of that forward heavy kick. Set up departure in front, even after the dash up's there. Yeah, you're risking it, man. Real risky business. Nemo just one spike away, one cycle power away, really. Oh, it's the drive impact calling out Mago.
We're going for crouch community kick quite a bit, so I get him running that impact. But also, I'd like to see maybe Mago run that back medium punch. I've seen like Hurricane utilize that to check and challenge teleport. Nice call from the corner stand. Heavy kick connects in level 2. The Ghastly Ghost putting through the most. Oh, this is bad drive impact. Gets a follow-up for a heavy kick. That's so cheap.
Yeah, the attack on drive impact as well, or sorry, on the drive gauge as well is so important. But speaking of, are we gonna get the side switch? Yes, sir. Hooligan dive kick, bring him back down to earth. OD Amnesia, big punish counter. You're dead. You gotta be dead, right?
OD?
Oh my lord. Son. What? He still got the juggle that low to the ground? Nemo-san, you are a genius. You are a bona fide genius for that. Actually, OD. Oh my god.
That's incredible. I had no idea that was possible. And yet another complaint for people to add against this character, but that takes a lot of lab work. Someone that has, you know, played Urian with Aegis Reflector is going to find some nasty stuff and pulling all the stops. He's on game point against Mago. Oh, that was insane.
Again, a lot of damage on the drive gauge currently, but still finds the counter, driving on in there with the crouching medium punch. Nemo doing an excellent job. We talk about the amount of control this character has too, but the damage output could be something to mark as well. Taking a look, perfectly calculated target combo into the drive impact combo, the splat leading to all of this. Throw it, bounce it off, level 1, Nemo with a Twitter highlight clip already? It's only the first day, baby.
Come on, man, we just came back. You clocking in like that? Like, dang. This dude is ridiculous. He's on set point so dominantly in the matchup where she can do so many things. He's able to keep up with this character. Some may say, hey, it's JP, but I think it's just Nemo. Outplaying Mago fantastically, but it's not over yet. Sand heavy kick connects, gets the punish counter. Oh, you see light and then stand fierce right after in that right range. Won't be straight to see him with that level 2. Oh, he didn't get the conversion. Immediate challenge.
He dropped the combo. Very interesting. A little bit of a drop. We've seen that from both players. Now Nemo kind of facing some of these problems and not ready for the teleport. How often has Mogul been susceptible to these teleports? Nemo-san coming through, full fruition of what he said in the pregame interview. I'm gonna beat him up. He beat him up.
Look at that smile.
To oblivion. To oblivion. My man teleported on in there. Bodied him.
Nothing personal, says Nemo as he takes down Mogul dominantly. Oh my god, that was nasty. I feel like you just see that smile. It's like another day at the office on a stream, to be honest, but well labbed out, not only in the matchup and what you should be doing, but also the situational advantages that he gets off like level 2 and stuff like that. That low to the ground, I've never seen that, and obviously we've seen a lot of JPs come through. Never seen something like that with that sort of sauce. Nemo, definitely one of the best of business with this character, and it only makes sense to see someone that has evolved Yuri in the way that he did, bring it over to this character, to JP. Incredible work.
It was actually kind of wild because I couldn't tell if the combo was still going, so I forced myself to look at the combo counter instead of the action. I'm like, no way, dude. And yeah, Cammy was just so low to the ground. I honestly thought there was like a reset in between. I'm like, wait, did he just like wake up and get popped up or what? Like, what is happening? How is he still getting juggled? But yeah, man, that combo counter just kept going and going and going. And Nemo, man, that's super impressive. Somebody's got to get the digital scissors and clip that bad boy and ship it to both of us so we can study it. Taking a look at the stats right now, man, 3 out of 11 in terms of anti-airs. You know, you do take into consideration the amount of teleports that JP had taken. So with that in mind, man, that's so difficult to consider. And it's a surprising stat, I feel like 2 out of 4 from the side of Nemo, 50%. Now, I'm not surprised that he got that many. I'm surprised that there were only 4 jump-in attempts as a Cammy.
Yeah, that's actually kind of wild considering like that's a mix-up, and considering what makes her so powerful in that matchup along with the spin knuckle, but it wasn't meant to be. Maybe the grounded gameplay, the continuous amount of departures, locked him down, whatever it may be. We're all tied out right now. We are at 20-20. That means we get the first to one sudden death to get it done. And you know what we're probably both of us going to say, but you know what I'm going to say? Send in Nemo. All right, he already got that victory. He's already warmed up. I would like having a warm cat come up to fight on that first one, and we've already seen that makes it can do in situations. Put him up first.
Okay, so I will rebuttal with Marisa in a 1-to-1. I think Shuro might be way more intimidating with Muscle Mommy because of how volatile she can be and how you don't get the necessary rounds to adapt to what she wants to do. I think Shuto would be fantastic for this sudden death match. But of course, away team has to choose first, so Moke has to play up more. Okay, so this is very interesting, right? They're still going to set up Nemo, as you had mentioned. Moke, he was the only one that was really hot, in my opinion, going into his matchup, but at the same time, it was, I will say, it could have been a toss-up between Mizuha and Moke still, right?
Yeah. Like those would have been like the selection considering how well they've been playing. And you know, on paper, not that bad. I still think that Chun-Li has things that she could do against this character, the walk speed, the fireballs and things like that. You know, similar to kind of Ken in a little bit, and how she can kind of advance against the fireball to like kind of walk behind and try to fight this character. Stand fiercely with his stand fierce too as well. You might be seeing that. My man Nemo is yawning like this is nothing. Oh man, I want to see what Moke is saying right now, bro. He is offended.
These guys are so animated, bro. These guys are so animated. It's so goofy, but it's so awesome. It's so awesome. Yeah, you saw it a little bit earlier ago, right, Sekola? Nemo, the camera panned over to Nemo while Moke was speaking, and Nemo was yawning. He was doing the same exact thing in the first stage, man. He was mocking him a little bit. Moke, you're still doing it? You're still trying to do it? I'll never forgive him for that. On anime levels, bro. I want to see anime levels of retribution coming in from Moke, though. All tied up 20 apiece. This is going to be a banger no matter what. What an excellent day. What excellent way to start our day here at Street Fighter League second stage. So Moke with the Chun-Li. We talked about it a little bit earlier, right? Again, she does a great job of closing the gap and also an excellent counter poker. So we'll see how this is going to play out against Nemo, who's been playing complete control up until the point where he decides to be aggressive. So we'll see whether or not these two strategies can be enough to keep away Moke.
Will this end the same way? Seoul won last time 25-20. Someone's getting 5 points extra. Someone is not getting the retribution. We'll have to see what happens. But I'm definitely curious as Nemo is playing out of his mind right now. I feel like he is like becoming even more and more the complete package with this character, and it's great to see. He's also invested some time in Aki, which we won't probably see for a while, if at all, because JP is enough. But Moke, bro, you cannot let someone yawn in front of your face like that instead of just ignoring. You gotta fight back. You know that Moke, he's like, he gonna swing at him. Wait, oh, Nemo said I was nervous fighting. That's why the yawn was coming out. He said, forgive me, and dropped Moke's government name. He dropped his government. That's actually crazy. That's some wild energy, Nemo.
I can't tell where the truth starts and the lies begin, really, in terms of the amount of respect, quote unquote, respect that Nemo's trying to give towards Moke. Because when you drop the government name, that means when you're on a first name basis with somebody, I feel like you gotta be real friends with them, right? So Nemo, again, I don't know if he just double disrespected Moke or not, but here we go. First and only game, really, in the sudden death battle. Here we go.
Side switch, Departure is out. Still gets a pickup. Look, his situational awareness off the fireballs, off Departure has been fantastic. He's making the most of these situations too as well. Dang, are you kidding me? Driver's forward heavy kick. Stand fierce. Oh, but he's at that level 1. Yeah, he's gonna get it done. Come on.
Jesus. Training mode Nemo is what this is. Training mode, comfortable on the stream, labbing it out for his viewers, Nemo.
Oh, I like that punish. Drive impact for the pickup. Once more. Fears. Still gets hit with the OD Amnesia. That's out. Back dash for the 10 show. Very smart. Something at that anti-air.
Okay. The defense against the OD Amnesia jumped out of the first one. Got ready with the parry in the second one. Damn. And also, are we going to get a rebuttal for a perfect as well for Moke? I can't really tell, but we'll find out momentarily. Level 1, and that's exactly it. The big rebuttal, perfects on both ends. This is it, the final round in our first team battle.
It's down to this. OD out, but you can't do that. Moke reacts, gets a crouch mini kick, falls up the jump fears, Stomp City, spinning bird kick. Then Oki caught him Tekken. You lacking, let's get cracking. Big pickup with the jump fierce again. Still the Amnesia is out. We see Moke deal with this. Parries. Skip for the overhead, but not much after, though. They have the drive rush for the rebuttal.
No
and this should be the finish.
His confirms are godlike.
Chris,
actually godlike.
Chris.
Oh my God. Moke stand jab counter hit into the back medium punch at a fraction of a second, able to get that confirmed. That was delectably crispy. I'm coming back to the salad bar, baby. That was ridiculous. Sign me up for seconds and thirds. But yeah, man, the only time he got hit was with the overhead. He almost got a perfect. He almost got a double perfect.
So Nemo, you awake now? I'll put you to sleep. Hands like NyQuil. Moke winning for his team and getting revenge. Again, this is the run back, so GyoGun able to take it over them this time, get that 25 points over 20. Nemo had a really great start, but man, the defense though, he went for parry, backdash, 10-show kick. What a read, what a reaction. What great timing. Moke again, the complete package when it comes to Chun-Li. If you're looking for Chun-Li data, bro, don't need to go much further than Sako, and especially Moke.
I'm glad he's sticking out with this character. I truly am glad that he's been sticking out with this character and finding such great success, man. And looking to be one of the top point earners already, with the potential of already getting, what, 15 points to his name? Already in the #1 spot. Obviously, it's only been the first team battle, but again, scoring 15 points at the start, man, it's cheating. It's cheating. I'm just kidding. Going into it now, man, we get our post-game interview with the winners, and it's a very difficult spot, right? We talked about the rules earlier. We have the home and away rule reinstated for the second phase, or the second stage. The more important thing is, obviously, they got their W on the away side, so in the next rebuttal, in the round robin, they have to play this team again down the line. Guess what? Now they're in the home field advantage. They get to get the counter picks going. So that's going to be a very interesting bout to see whether or not Saishunkan solo Kumamoto is acclimated to their first L. But we'll see down the line.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens. But for now, they do take the first place spot against Saishunkan Kumamoto. And that's 225. No, I'm sorry, 230 points. My bad. I can't do math this early. 230 points in total for them, and they're over GyoGun. Macho says, I wasn't so confident today, so I was out. He said, I think our team was really good at comebacks. Really nice win. And honestly, the comeback that came at the very end, he's definitely correct about that. As Moke took that yawn personally. It's good to see him, fight that and fight back. Here, see what Mizuwa is saying. He did really well at the World Warrior. So I can see keeping that same sort of energy from the World Warrior out here in the league. You've seen that typically over the years, where players that do well at the World Warrior events are doing well at Street Fighter League and vice versa. Maybe because we have the best in Japan out here in Street Fighter League. But I do feel like there's an extra amount of oomph to their play in both ways from being in both. So, you see the same people in those same top spots consistently.
And we are getting the rest of the conversations going also with some of the players. And again, just to kind of remind you folks at home, I was a little confused myself. I'm like, just to make sure, for full clarity going into the second stage, it's going to be a brand new set of points, obviously, because we can't carry over. These aren't rollover minutes. These aren't rollover points. We can't be doing that here. But at the same time, it's going to be really, really important to keep tabs going into it, right? The most points that you would want in a game, obviously, they're looking for the 40 bomb each and every time. So as good as a victory as this was, it does net them only 25 points, right? So there is a possibility for some of these other teams to snipe out over this team, right? Over Team GyoGun, just because of that fact, right?
No, my mistake. I thought it was a rollover, but you're gonna have to restart with it. But as you're definitely correct. No. At any point, any teams can hit that 40 real quick with it, as we've seen previously. These 40 ballers can happen and can't let these teams just shoot up to the top. Mizuwa says that I was able to face what I was expecting, so I was glad I won. Mago said he was confident today, but he wasn't doing great. Macho said that we were good at comebacks, but I think I'm not. But that's good that Mago can maybe ascertain where he's at and get better next time he has to fight.
And I appreciate that. I mean, like Mago, there's something about Mago. Like I'm not trying to like tune in or like trying to like work in the whole meme about September Mago. But I'm not gonna lie, man. He really does play very well when it comes to September. I want him to find that same exact confidence throughout the rest of the seasons, man. I want to see how he plays when he is feeling confident as well. But yeah, so Machabo also kind of feeling that same exact way. Machabo said that they're not good at, that they are good at comebacks. So yeah, you mentioned it a little bit earlier. We're starting to really see some really like deep perspectives for some of these players. Like I think it's crazy that some of them aren't as confident as they feel, because I feel like, man, these guys have the utmost confidence when I watch them play. But going into it, obviously, towards the end of it, they face DetonatioN next. They're a real comeback team on first stage, a really strong team. So you guys, you got to get ready for it. That's the parting word from Mago going into next week.
Don't forget one thing, Moke did say, I hope Nemo never yawns again. Love that from Moke. But again, yeah, they'll be facing up against DetonatioN FocusMe. We'll talk about a little bit later. With a surprising new coach on their team, so they'll definitely be an even bigger force to be reckoned with. But let's check out the stats here. Bro, anti-Earth were always there, obviously with the teleports, we're on point. But, man, the drive impacts were landing from the side of Moke. Those were landing from the side of Nemo previously, and now it's all Moke all dang day. And, of course, those perfects. The great defense that we saw from Moke, doing the backdash against the parry, that fantastic stuff, well labbed out. Making sure that Nemo was awake and aware of his defeat. 25 points! The side of GyoGun defeating Saishunkan Kumamoto on the run back. As you said before, everything's reset, so 25 points in the leaderboard right now is the highest, but we'll see what happens as we get to our next match.
Yeah, really, really much so looking forward to it. Yeah, that tech initially, we were just talking about it too, or I was actually just watching it, like the OD amnesia, the initial jump back from Moke is just so good, right? Initial jump back to avoid the explosion, but what you need to do is not avoid ways to get some of this merch. I gotta say, this QR code is the first way to access some of it, but I feel like this is region exclusive. Someone might be lying to me here, or I might be making it up, but it feels like it may be region exclusive, and I wish it wasn't, because some of this stuff I would love to put on my stand to decorate. And on top of that, hey man, is that a new t-shirt on the left? I think it is. That looks awfully familiar. I think I know that artist. Listen, the more merch you guys bring out, obviously, the more we're gonna complain because of the fact that we don't get access to it. But for those that do have access to it in Japan, hey yo, hook us up, but also hook yourselves up. A lot of this merch really comfortable. I just got my hands on the exact same shirts and also the sweatshirt. I got the Akuma one, but I also got one of these. I ordered it. I got it shipped. There are plenty of ways to get it in the States as well with a third-party reshipper. And also, you need to get your hands on this exact t-shirt as well. The casters have been wearing it throughout the entirety of the league, and it's got exclusive artwork in it. It is going to be pretty much, it's official artwork, obviously, but I don't think you'll ever get anything like it, ever. This is a one-time thing, I feel like, with this specific design.
Make sure y'all pick that up and, you know, hook us up too as well. Yo, Capcom, hook us up too as well. We're going to hook you up with another match real soon here. We have FAV Gaming going up against DetonatioN FocusMe. Now, real quick with it, DetonatioN FocusMe has Tachikawa added to the team as a coach. That's right, from the Good 8 squad. He has been coaching that team, many other teams, and even players too as well, and has moved over to DetonatioN FocusMe as an official coach. And he's also coaching Tokido as well. So, like, that's going to be even harder to deal with them as they have been a team of survival, surpassing Good 8 squad, the Royal Jabari Star, and Hiroshima Team Itsuka. They're going up against FAV Gaming, who was previously in the top spot when we last left Street Fighter League. But I can't wait to see who's going to take this victory. I mean, Tokido, he won World Warrior Japan 3. Like, I mean, he's definitely acclimating to that ken. We got Ryusei, obviously, Sako, and Bonchan on FAV Gaming. And of course, DetonatioN FocusMe has Fudo, John Takuchi, Nauman, and Inabashi. That's going to be a very team right there. Away side is going to be Detonation, so things are going to be more difficult for them. They have to put up their players in the right sort of way. Curious to see what their order is. They have a lot of unique characters going up against a lot of top tier out here on the side of FAV Gaming. You're not going to miss any of this top tier action after the break. Keep it locked and loaded on everything Capcom related on the official restreams on Twitch and YouTube. Hey, and if there's things that you like, if you see that sick Nemo combo, tweet it at us. Let us know what's going on. You know, hit the follow button too as well. Subscribe, like. Hit the alerts so you know what's going on so you can catch all that great action. I'm assuming that's what it says right there. But either way, make sure you keep it all locked on everything Street Fighter 6, everything Street Fighter League, Japan. Hit the hashtag too as well. Show us what you like. And again, after this break, we're going to have FAV Gaming Detonation going up. Real quick read. What do you expect from this match, Vicious?
Nothing but bangers is the short end of it. If you want the long end of it, we'll tell you on the other side of this break. Again, be sure to follow along at Capcom_esports. We will see you on the other side of this break. You don't want to miss it. It's back here with the second stage, our second team battle coming in hot right after this.
こちら再開時刻は20時18分、8時18分からは第1節マッチ2、ファブゲーミング対デトネーションフォーカスミー、こちらの対戦の模様をお届けしてまいります。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
毒はいかがですか？
良いですか？
最近ちょっとやっぱ考えて生パリーはかなりいいなと思いました。
そうなんす。
歩いてって生パリーとか結構リスキーに見えるんですけど、1ゲージの時とかってほぼバンアウトなんですよね。これもうちょっと自分で回収するのも苦しいなってシーンがすごいあって、で自分から触りに行くのも嫌だなって時は歩いてパリーをして1回でも通常技取れればすごい回復するんですよね。やっぱ通常技取った時、やっぱこれはもっと積極的に狙っていければいいのかなって思いましたね。
なるほど。そもそもガードでもこうやってりゃバーンアウトするからリスクはそんな変わんないよねっていうような考え方よね。
でしかも例えばなんか相手がじゃあルークでタゲコンをやってきてました、これもうバグ盛りっす。
おお3本
これすごいですよ。
確かに。
And we are back with FAV Gaming versus Detonation FocusMe. It's our second match of the day. I can't wait to see what these teams are going to do. First off, we're going to start off with FAV Gaming. We're going to top shots from the top tiers out here. Speaking of top tier talent, we have the judge, jury, and executioner, Papa Bonchan, coming through with that. Luke, right after, it's going to be the Genius Gamer, aka the FG Scout himself. Third, in the third one warrior, he won Tokido. After that was going to be Eyes of Desperation, always focused, always prepared. Ryusei with that JP. Last but definitely not least, leading the charge with the strongest spear, always on point, it is Sakanoko with that Chun-Li.
Yeah, this is one of the teams that have been an absolute powerhouse just on paper, but also more so in the streets, actually in the games. But it's been very dangerous. And they're going to be facing off against another dangerous team, Detonation FocusMe. Coming on in there, it's going to be the attack on heavy tank. Fudo, who's been so surprisingly good with so many characters now. And the trickster coming in, the babyface Joker, it's John Takeuchi. Followed by Shipu Jinrei. It's going to be Naomin coming in hot and heavy with that Ken. And of course, last but never the least, the winning mill ticket, Mr. Strong Arm himself. Itabashi Zangief. It's going to be a real great composition and also a great time to see the fact that they made it into the second stage. Big congratulations to them, by the way. Where we thought all hope was lost, they made it into the second stage with finesse. I really do enjoy this team too, man. I thought it was lights out. I had called that a little bit earlier in the first phase, and I was poorly mistaken, right? There was a very slim chance that they would make it, but they're here. And they're here to play. He's going to be godlike. Here we go. Here's the lineup for FAV Gaming. Tokido, Ryusei, and Bonchan. Sakanoko sitting it out. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I expected the order to be flipped for the first and third position. I expected Tokido to be in like that third position, and you know, Bonchan to kind of lead the charge. But this is still a-okay. I still feel like this is a strong team. You know, you look at the other side of things for Team Detonation. Their characters got to work a little bit harder in some of these matchups. But of course, they're on the home side of things, so they can deliberate not only on the character to character, but player to player. So I do like this composition either way for the away side.
And look at the amount of time that this team has had to kind of like readjust too. I think a lot of these players obviously have been very much so involved with every single World Warrior, right? You were talking about it earlier. Tokido had such a convincing win in his most recent Grand Finals performance. It's really hard to kind of reach up to that. A lot of these players now are going to be punching up towards the way that Tokido had performing. I feel like it lit a lot of fires under a lot of the players within them too, so I'm kind of curious to see right now. One, why Tokido wants to go first. I'm sure he's going to talk about it. Two, if there's going to be anyone on this team who could put a dent in how powerful this Ken is right now.
His Ken is so different than other Ken players. So it's going to be Naomin actually going up to bat against him. Tokido did say that same character, lots of Kens out there, so he's always practicing it. And we see it a lot in CFN. He's playing against Daigo. He's playing, I've seen him play against Kabe. You see him play against a lot of Ken players. So his way of Ken is so different. It's like Jive Rush, jab still, utilizing jab a lot more than like, you know, Jin Rise and things like that. Naomin is the type to let it rip with the Jin Rise, or I'm sorry, the Dragon Lash a little bit more often than not. But the corner pressure from Tokido is where I'm looking for him to shine. It's been historically like his best, I feel like, positions to put somebody in the corner and then kind of rip into them. And with Ken, you definitely do so with the throw baits and things like that. The throw game is fantastic. The Jin Rise, burnout situation too as well. He's fantastic with it. So it's gonna be a clash of two separate Kens, two different styles of Kens. Despite it being a mirror match, it's going to be very different.
I think this is something that's going towards the meta in terms of how Ken is being developed and how he's being played overall. I had a little bit of research done against Angry Bird as well. I think, you know, there's a lot of some of these Ken players, including Angry Bird, that start to utilize Drive Rush for early normal, right? I think there was one point in time where a lot of people were starting to figure out what normals they could use to stop and interrupt the Drive Rush. To counter that, a lot of the players, including Angry Bird, Bird and Tokido themselves, they would drive rush and throw out the normal mad early. And one of those normals happened to be stand jab. I think, you know, that kind of attributes to a lot of Tokido's success. You're talking about different looks. I think it's just like the evolution of times, really. I think it's the evolution of what to do against the drive rush game. And a lot of players are already flocking to that exact strategy. So when it comes to the Ken Mirror match, I feel like we're going to see who actually decides to be aggressive with drive rush, but I feel like both of these players are so well informed that I don't think that strategy is going to be as effective. But we'll see, right? Maybe I'll eat my words. Maybe Nauman is not necessarily up to par with what's been going on in the drive rush department. Maybe his department is somewhere else. Maybe he's a Jinrai expert now. Who knows? But we'll see what happens when it comes to the drive rush game.
I think you're right in pointing out, like, some of these players have different, like, specialties. I mean, Tokido, you look at Tokido and Angry Bird is like way more optimal in every situation. But Tokido's fundamentals and footsies and how he kind of puppeteers the other player is where he really shines. You know, I feel like Angry Bird plays that one-player game, and Tokido plays a two-player game, but they're both like very strong competitors. It's still a good game plan either which way. It's just different styles. But you know, in a mirror match, maybe it's difficult to have that driver slight punch style that you'd like to have. Your optimal range is their optimal range, and it's the same sort of like general game plan. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. Let's see if he's in the right department to get that victory. Nauman is going up against Tokido. He said it is an honor to face Tokido. With them both playing Ken, he's gonna do his best. Uh-oh, back on that drive impact though.
There it is. Oh, okay. That's a little bit of risky business, but throwing in the perfect parry against the drive rush. I see you now, man.
Whoa, hard stuff. So he's trying to crouch him in a kick, enhance Tatsu up in the corner. Safe jump setup, base up, a normal DP of all things. Trade, you'll take that. With the help to play with.
The back throw as well, being able to readjust. Man, jumping right out of there is Tokido, eating damage off of the overhead. And just like that, Nauman thought he was going to sit still. That's the second time Tokido had rebutted with a normal after the Dragon Lash, after a little bit of a delay too. Or actually even Jinrai too. Oh, the uppercut going past the fireball again, excelling in neutral. You had talked about it earlier, right? The fundamentals are just so out of this world. The punish counter as well, off of the standing medium kick. That was actually really well done from Tokido.
Now down bad for the down bag, not getting open up, using that crouching, just the crouch blocking to full effect to not get hit with that crouching medium kick. He understands the danger and understands if you whip, you're gonna get hit. The stand fear is too far out. Caught the recovery. Level 3 immediately. Tokido backdashing out of the optimal range of this character.
Yeah, and I love this. He's just backing away. Trying to maintain control, and the answer against the drive rush. Here comes the Dragon Lash forward throw now. Drive rush forward, another forward throw. Now in the corner, Tokido having some drive gauge to him. Do you spend it here? You absolutely do. Okay, I like that. I like that a lot. Staying alive.
Yeah, bullet for drop gauge for the sequence. One drive gauge, drive impact, but can't do it.
When your reactions are played against you. Really, really awful feeling, but really precise. It just goes along to what you were talking about, puppeteering the opponent into doing things that you want them to do, playing to their strengths. They got good reactions? Well, guess what? I'm gonna try to get this drive impact, fam.
Smart stuff from the side of Tokido. However, Nauman, for the pressure, fantastic. Backed up for that DP, gets a punish counter throw too as well. Switching up his variance and approach. Oh, no cancel. Still gets hit, though. Unfortunate, that's minus. Nauman striking back on Wake Up immediately. So much more aggressive, I feel like, on Wake Up. More than Tokido right now. Punish.
Sir still within range to get a punish on the standing medium kick. Speaking of punish counters, Tokido's gonna duke it out of the corner still. A lot of the placement for the mediums are getting checked, and just like that, on the startup of the fireball, Nauman easily within range, getting the big confirm off the low forward, starting things off right in game 2, getting the first round. No punish counter on the side of Nauman against Tokido's low forward initially, but speaking of, look at that, man. Full control after the drive rush.
Way Tokido, drive rush jab or throw. Puts him up in the corner. However, Nauman striking back again on Wake Up. On wake up though, right back at him, Tokido. Maybe he needs to like maybe stagger step a little bit, do stand heavy kick or maybe stand medium kick. Doesn't matter. Overhead lands in the level 3. He's able to link it.
No, that's a cancel, brother. A full-on cancel. Right. That's really, really hard to confirm. It is so difficult to confirm. Oh, too far to get the extension. No way. Standing heavy punch. That was an excellent bait. Excellent bait from Nauman, man. And that's, you know, it goes back to what we were talking about in the meta. There's so many people that have been so focused on interrupting the drive rushes. Nauman 2 steps ahead. Drive rush forward and going for the throw. So smart.
And to be able to get that overhead in the super, it takes a lot of work too as well, and awareness. Like Nauman, definitely in form right now. Playing some puppeteering of Tokido. Why is it Nauman right now? Right now, he's looking good. As soon as I say that, the crouch kick comes through, enhanced hops to the maximum amount of Oki. Perfect parry on that jump in, but finicky, so the back throw lands here for the side of Tokido.
Yeah, that was the wrong guess from Nauman, right? Even if it was a safe jump was parried, it doesn't guarantee you any sort of punish counter. It just leaves you at advantage against your opponent. I love the full sequence now from Nauman. BD standing heavy punch in between the string. Threading the needle yet again is Tokido, this time with a level 1 against the Jinrai option.
Cancel, text the throw though. Wasn't playing the fireball game, toe tap. I wonder if light punch would have worked. I thought, or I'm sorry, light kick would have worked. He used light punch, but it didn't work as a punish against the toe tap. Stand fierce, counter hit, no OD spit, but it's almost it. One solid stand fierce, follow up, or perfect parry with the scaling. We'll still get the kill. Nauman on set point.
Damn, that's how you feel today. Another perfect parry from the side of Nauman. Looking real confident. Back-to-back hitters. OD fireball first, then the roundhouse. The punish counter is there, but no low forward conversion. Interesting. Tokido getting a lot of damage off, leaving a lot of damage on the table. Nauman not looking to do the same thing. He does have a level 3. We might get a big opener. We're looking for it. A single hit from Nauman will spell destruction. Ooh, what a block from Tokido against the overhead Jinrai. Another one. This is gonna be it. Nauman, nice and easy. Level 3, 2-1 against Tokido. Damn, and that was convincing. Look at the life bar on the top of Nauman, but more importantly, I like the smile on his face right now. Great work. Great showing overall in the mirror match. Just a good attitude about it, man. That was impressive.
I was sitting here talking of Tokido's corner pressure, but Nauman's is fantastic. Also, how he doesn't let it get routed out of his hands. Like, you know, being able to go for a perfect parry and delete, you know, drive impact off the table and really keep Tokido caged up in the corner. And outside those ranges where, you know, crouching mid kick is going to hit and things like that, catching Tokido walking back continuously. Just really great play, especially at the very end there. Nauman getting the victory for his team, and more importantly, in a mirror match that I expected, honestly, Tokido to blow him up at. Honestly, as many times I've seen Tokido play that mirror match, I've seen him cook other Ken players, but Nauman bringing something different, that aggression a little bit too much. And you mentioned one thing that I'd like to highlight real quick, is the fact that damage was left on the table. Something that Tokido does really more often is not stay as optimal as like Angry Bird, and it's hard to. I feel like Ken doesn't always have to be as optimal compared to other characters, because he always gets Oki off of damn near everything. But the fact that Nauman was so optimally prepared for every punish is what led him to victory, I feel like, in that mirror match. So maybe that might have been one of those moments where those punishes should have came into play a little more consistently. Either way, Nauman taking that victory, having a better time with the anti-airs too as well. No, not a lot of jumps from his side of things, but at least 50% in terms of anti-airs. And drive impacts, 1 out of 2. Yeah.
To be fair, you know, one of the ones were pretty sneaky, right? The drive impact not being able to settle itself, being able to absorb. If you don't have any life left, you're not going to get any sort of exchange. So Nauman, he got duped on that one. We'll admit it. We'll admit it, right? 50%. That was an attempt to, but Tokido was just 2 steps ahead, at least in that one regard. In the totality of it, 10 points still awarded to Nauman because he is the victor. 2-1. Moving on in, Ryusei coming in with JP. What's going to be the counter pick coming in? It has to be Fudo, right? Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense to throw Fudo up there.
Yeah, throw out the DJ. I don't know if Sim is really the play, but DJ definitely could fight, go toe-to-toe with JP. So that is going to be the pick here from Fudo. Fudo recently got 6th at World Warrior, so he was definitely out there working. And again, that is like the strongest region in terms of like the amount of combined talent. So definitely no slouch in getting just 6th. You want a lot more, obviously, with points, but that is a very, very high placement. Coming through with the DJ. Ryusei on the JP. You're seeing what Ryusei will be saying in regards. He's been playing a little bit of Aki, but I know his mind is on JP probably for the rest of the league. I would have to imagine.
We are getting the pregame interview as well between Fudo and Ryusei. And I kind of want to harp in on that topic you had mentioned earlier. I think DJ does a pretty decent job against JP at certain ranges, right? I think there's a lot of intimidation that could come from the Fireball game, just off of like a really, really basic understanding of the characters. I think the Fireball game can be rather intimidating with DJ, but if read correctly, a spike could be a big setback for DJ just right off the bat too, because you get that spike, you get the setup departure, then you get to full-on abuse the timing against DJ, where you can throw up a Phantom, you can throw up another departure. Actually, no, another departure. You can throw up a Phantom, throw up another spike, do some damage on the drive gauge. But what's really important, I feel like, is the something that's always going to be talked about, right? Drive rush forward is DJ, right? Drive rush forward is DJ can avoid some of the Phantoms that are thrown, any sort of mistimed Phantom that's thrown by JP, right? That could be really, really detrimental to your life bar. It's not advised. You're not going to stay healthy for too long if you get caught with a drive rush going forward, right? The spike also, if you're not reading that carefully, right? If you're not able to stop DJ with some of these spikes, guess what? You're going to have a bad time. So I kind of wonder what it's going to be for Ryusei to kind of stop some of these big drive rushes that happen so often with DJ players.
I know one button is going to stop it. Crouching medium punch from the side of JP is a fantastic button. Obviously, you have to be ready and steady with that button. I get it. But that's a nasty button to stop and stuff drive rush. We've seen that from the best JP players. I wonder if Ryusei can be continuous with it. You're not going to stop every drive rush. It's just not going to happen, especially from the side of DJ. Especially if that top level player is finding that intention very well. And we've seen that with Fudo. Like, especially as he ramps up, it's harder and harder to read when he does drive rush light punch, or he like does a fake out with like the sway. That's another element that you have to worry about. We've seen drive rush sway into like the light kick follow up that will clip a limb preemptively and get like a punch kind of follow up. So you have to be careful about stuffing and stopping drive rush, but on like the basic level, crouching medium punch, stand fierce are going to be the ways to outpoke this character. Even stand medium punch is like a good button too as well. If Ryusei is ready and prepared, if Fudo is not hiding those properly, which Fudo has proven to do so. So we'll have to see. I mean, Fudo has definitely been deadly, whether it be on the DJ. He also has the Sim, but I think DJ is more than well enough equipped, especially if he's in that mid-range, so like drive rush forward and make it a little bit more ambiguous when he's going to come through. Fireball game at full range. Easy to sniff out with you know, Pierce and stuff. But if you're like mid-range, it could be drive rush stand fierce for a medium kick for the plus frames. Could be a lot of things you have to worry about. So I'm curious to see how Fudo's going to navigate that plasma.
We're going to find out momentarily. I think Ryusei's done a really good job of evolving his JP in comparison to the first stage. Looking at his CFN, this character, obviously a terror in the streets, man. But Ryusei, he's found some really innovative ways to keep people in lockdown. I kind of want to know what happens as soon as Ryusei gets the knockdown and sets up the departure. I want to know what his type of control is. We've seen that in a glimpse of the Nemo matchup prior, but again, this Ryusei, I feel like it's going to be really ambiguous. It all comes down to the initial knockdown from JP. We're going to see how it goes. Here we go, game one. In the second team battle of the day, for the second set of players. Ooh, the perfect parry already. We talked about the dangerous knockdown set of departure right in front of DJ.
Nice, he's overhead off the table with the OD jackknife. There's that sway in play, clipping a limb, the crouching medium kick. Now getting a blessed follow. Tons of damage on the deck, but the Pierce, as you put it before, connects against the fireballs. Has to be careful. That's not the worst trade if Ryusei can find a way outside that corner.
Oh, talked about the dangers of the drive rush, dangers of the just cool as well. Narrowly avoiding both. The uppercut is there. Yes, sir. And it all came down to waiting and baiting for the jump, the jackknife in connection from Fudo getting the first round.
Fudo did say he'll face all the JP players. He's definitely doing a great job. Already put him in the corner round start. You should jump to call anything, but still, light punch starter lands. Get some distance with it, with the departure too as well. Fireball trying to cover some range. Teleports in, caught him lacking. Big jump, heavy kick, that teleport. To get the departure, out continuously to lock down the nooch. By the bar split, now you're in burnout, and level 2 could come through if he's able, if he's given a chance. Nah, not this time.
Oh, wait. No way. What was a defensive choice from the Yusei? I'm actually quite surprised that hit. I'm genuinely surprised that hit. I'm gonna have to get a replay of that because even Ryusei looks shook.
I should have blocked that. It looked like he stood up actually, but I guess didn't hold back. I'm not sure what happened there.
Did my man have a full glass of milk? Did my man have a full glass of milk with him? I appreciate
some
that.
milk.
He needs some milk. He genuinely needs some milk. No, but real talk though, I was very curious to see how he even got hit in the first place. I had blinked and I saw the combo going. I'm like, oh no, like wait a minute. I didn't see a counter hit either. I'm like, oh wait a minute. Hopefully someone could clip that, so maybe we can get into that. But either way, what did we talk about earlier, right? We talked about the big deal with DJ, obviously dealing a lot of damage. Drive rush is being ever so important to check. I think that's the #1 tool. That's the #1 item on everybody's checklist when they go to the grocery store. I think right now being able to check the drive rushes is ever so important against DJ. That's #1. #2, Just Cool could be a little bit problematic, we noticed, right? Just Cool could be a great tool to focus on the, to punish on the footsies, right? JP's crouching medium punch could be a little bit problematic. Like you talked about the layers, right? You talked about being able to stuff out drive rush with crouching medium punch. I've seen so many other players drive rush forward, cancel their momentum into Just Cool, and get the light kick ender for the punish counter. So that could be a little bit more problematic. So we want to see the layers, and I want to see Ryusei really figure out what the defense is going to be like. But I also want to see more of that control that I was used to seeing, man. Don't let that CFN data go to waste, baby. Let me see you do it.
I mean, it's hard. Fudo definitely looked well labbed out against this character. Obviously, most people are when they fight JP because we have to fight JP, throughout tournaments and ranked. Obviously, when you have a strong character like that, you're going to be more prepared more often than not. But I do want to see that control that you're talking about too as well. And Ryusei exercising, those mix-ups, that potential of these characters. We saw with Urien, with Aegis, a similar manner to Nemo. He's a mix-up master. I want to see that with JP, bro. I see the departures out and about, but it's not enough to really start the party. We see like the late, DPs from the side of Fudo. Right now, Fudo on game point. Dang, he even waited for the green. Hit him with the OD immediately.
Did you get a conversion now? Set up the departure right in front of him. Attack on drive gauge, but Ryusei, he's not gonna be overextending, right? He wanted to make sure he built some drive gauge for himself, but it was Fudo who recognized it, hence why we see back-to-back drive rushes. Fudo, he smells blood, and it's via the drive gauge being low against Ryusei. That was, how many tippy taps did he get with the low median kick? Jesus.
Anyways, great button too as well, but you have to be careful. We've already seen it being punished. Perfect parry stand, fierce, off the backboard. We're gonna kill the drive gauge? Oh, we're gonna kill the character. Even with the scaling, gets the W. Well calculated.
A beautiful start. A beautiful exchange from both ends, really. Got the soul bot. Oh, the OD amnesia against the forward medium kick from DJ. Watch your stuff. Oh, the jump in's there! Yeah, great reaction against the fireball. Fudo misplacing it. Not the right time, not the right space, but now you're gonna get departure all over the place. Overhead, forward medium kick again. Not really an overhead. Level 1, parry. Fudo in trouble.
He's waiting, he's juking, waiting for a Pierce. That follow-up. Get that stand Pierce at level 2. Could be Mix City. However, checks the drive rush with the light. Bro, that's good night. Level 3 is what he was looking for. The story's not over.
Deep breath coming in from Ryusei. And again, we got to see that control. And you've noticed a sense of urgency that came from Fudo as soon as 2 bars were evident on the drive gauge of JP. I think that was really, really smart from Ryusei to kind of back it up just a little bit too, from full screen, fully aware that the drive gauge was the drive rush was going to be coming in. Speaking of which, Ryusei starting things off with his own drive rush. And rebuttal, Fudo now making contact. A couple more drive rushes his way.
Anti-air is right there, though. Perfectly done. Back to the crouch fierce. Still gets a sweep off the feet, has to lock up in the corner. You got to keep him there. And try to keep that gauge up, too, as well. I like that from Fudo. Going for parry more often than not to keep the drive gauge nice and healthy. Much as possible you can, at least, you know, where they can pop that level, too.
Oh, the attempt at the just cool does get blown up. The range on JP is just too strong, especially after that drive rush. Speaking of, now we get the rebuttal. Fudo looking at match point.
Corner pressure is getting better and better. Calls out the parry, extra damage, punish counter. That crouching medium kick not working out as much. Finds a whip punish against the crouching medium punch. Has level 3 in store. He'll be able to spin to win. Will there be an opening?
Negative after the heavy fireball being that close as well. It's gonna be the just cool attempt a second time. He hasn't really found success with that just cool just yet. Fudo is doing just fine without it, really sending a barrage of fireballs, forcing Ryusei to take damage to the drive gauge. No anti-air was so tricky, I guess. Perfect parry into the crouching medium, or crouching heavy punch, excuse me. So this level 3, it's not gonna kill. What it is gonna kill is the drive gauge now, putting him in burnout. And there's a lot of meter on the side of Fudo. We're gonna get a fireball sequence after this, perhaps. Oh, the fake!
Oh, the fake
so
out.
We all got. We thought a fireball sequence was gonna be coming for the chip. He delayed it and got the soul bot, thinking you were able to jump. That was so slick-witted and so quick-witted. Fudo is actually a monster.
Actually a demon. I know that right now DetonatioN FocusMe is having a offline viewing party. They're going wild right now. That was incredible play. Again, corner pressure fantastically done. And then also sniffing out the crouching medium punch. Finding a drive rush punish. You don't typically see that from a lot of players. I mean, it's hard to read the intentions of like the stand fierce or crouching medium punch, the other buttons of JP, but to have a drive rush whip punish ready, to use that just cool to kind of lock that character down, leave these buttons up the table continuously and keep them caught up in the corner when the threat of amnesia is there and parry and other things that could all lead to you get pushed to the corner on one mistake. Fudo said he was ready, prepared for JP's. He was definitely more than prepared to take down Ryusei. Man. Put them up.
Yeah. Served up a double platter of whatever Ryusei's JP was serving. But yeah, Bonchan is coming up next now for the anchor spot for FFV Gaming. It's going to be the Luke play. And as sturdy as his character is, I totally understand that he's still going to be in the realm of possibilities when it comes to picking top tier in the meta. Luke is just a complete package. There's no doubt about it. We welcome him with open arms when we classify him as a Shoto, other than not having a Tatsu. Why have a Tatsu when you have a Flash Knuckle? But with that in mind, yeah, I think Luke has overall done so much work, could do so much damage. Before we even get into that, my mistake, I'm skipping over. Let's take a look at the stats currently, right? In terms of the anti-air department, Ryusei did a pretty decent job of stopping some of these jump-ins.
You know, one thing I just heard them say is OD amnesia. I don't think we saw that. Maybe I'm bugging, but I don't think we saw that option exercised at all. Maybe just too much on the back foot, too many like neutral jump fierces and things like that, or calls from the side of Fudo to not let that happen. But the anti-airs were definitely right there later in the set from the side of Fudo that let him lock down that character. Now, previously, FAV was able to get the victory against DetonatioN. Now, DetonatioN's poised to take it. They got 20 points so far. But Baba Bonchan, the Executioner, coming up the bat with such a strong character, as you pointed out, that really fits his style. You know, I feel like it definitely fits his style and the way he wants to play. You know, walking forward, always scared that crouching light kick opener and things like that, dumping out the damage in every sort of hit confirm, and being able to have like Oki and great fireball fits him well. But he's going up against, wow, John Takeuchi.
Let's go.
Okay.
I mean, you're looking at the matchup on paper. Well, first and foremost, let's talk about Rashid. This is going to be kind of sick. I think Rashid can do a decent amount of work getting past the fireballs. Also, he's got a lot of mobility to him. He does have a decent fireball war game that he can set up with the Cyclone too. But I think one of the biggest consistent issues that we have with Rashid right now, despite him getting further and further developed, I think he has a hard time really netting that damage and really making it hurt. I think there's just too many instances where Rashid has to kind of continuously get the mix over and over again to really deal significant damage, right? If you're spending the resources, I feel like the damage should also be there. I just think he doesn't quite cut it. And we've seen that kind of we've seen that kind of evident in a lot of the Big Bird plays. So I've been watching a lot of the Birds, right? Big Bird's been really playing this character for quite some time these last couple of weeks, and I just feel like he can't close it out as often without all the resources behind him. Luke doesn't suffer from that problem, right? Inherently, he has a lot of damage that could come out from the flash knuckles, the perfect flash knuckles at that, and more importantly, the corner carry too. Rashid does have potential to some really great corner carry, which allows him to get the mix that he's looking for. I just think in terms of the damage, it's just not the same. It's just not the same kind of output.
It's not the same. It's not the same mid-screen. In the corner, it can be close, but as you mentioned, you have to have the resources. Obviously, Yasar is great. Level 2 is fantastic, probably one of the best in the business in terms of supers. But like also when it comes for blow to blow, pound for pound for the normals, I also feel like Luke definitely has an advantage, especially with this matchup in the mid-range. It's hard to find a way to initiate, to kind of start the party. I played a lot of Rashid the past like week, and whenever I find a Luke, I'm like, bro, I gotta get close against this character. He's got stand medium punch, he's got drive rush crouching medium punch, even normal crouching medium punch is fantastic. And I can't really walk back because of crouching light kick. Now, if I get going and flowing and I get the mix-ups, everybody gets blended. But you know, getting there is going to be the issue. And someone like Bonchan with great defense and great offense is going to make that a lot harder to happen. Bonchan wasn't even really expecting John Takuchi to come up, but he said he's ready for anything no matter what. John Takuchi says Bonchan looks relaxed, but I was able to destroy in the first stage. He said, get ready for it. I'm ready to see this Rashid work. You know, this character that's been developed, as you pointed out, you know, Big Bird getting better and better about utilizing this character. But not only him, JB, I've been watching him week after week on his streams and watching him develop his character and get stronger and stronger. Definitely an investment character because there's so many routes with him. He's such a complex character. Even dealing with fireballs is something that has been recently, you know, understood with like OD fireball and then like maybe like using Cyclone, stuff like that. Like that rhythm has only recently understood. Right. So I do feel like, you know, this character is still taking time to develop and grow.
Yeah, without a doubt. I think, you know, there's certain lengths that people will go to kind of develop this character. It's just a matter of time. It's just going to be a little bit later as the meta develops, or at least as the strategies develop and get deeper and deeper. And that's fair, man. Rashid was under the radar for 3 full seasons. I wouldn't be surprised if something by next season develops and, you know, really breaks the character in a positive way. So we'll see how that plays out. In the meantime, John Takeuchi looking to be one of those pioneers and really set the pace with this character. He's facing off against another that happens to be well within the conversation of top 5. That is Mr. Sullivan. It's Luke, piloted by Papa Bonchan, doing it for the Twins. But overall, it's going to be a very interesting bout, right? Again, they've met up in the first phase. It's so crazy. I think the first stage of Street Fighter League is going to be drastically different from this stage because of how fast all of these players are developing different strategies. Not even just Japan, EU as well, man. We're seeing some really crazy stuff out there for the better, and it's been really influential to see some of these guys show off the tech. But speaking of which, let's see how this character specifically has developed for John Takeuchi, or will Bonchan snuff out the light and get another W? We'll see.
I'm gonna say something super scrubby, but walk with me. Jump ins are gonna be the way to play against this character. Jump fierce, jump heavy kick, that downward angle are gonna be real nasty for the side of Rashid unless he's got a really good read and backs up for the heavy mixer to actually operate. So I'm curious to see if Bonchan will take the skies if need be to kind of get that victory, get that damage started. On the ground right now, John Takuchi's doing a fantastic job. This character is a chip monster. I like that jump back. Damn near like a dive kick.
Yeah, the same could be applied with the jumping fears. I think for both characters, right, they have such a big hurt box on the way down too. So I think that's a really valid strategy. You gotta throw those looks, those different looks every so often. And speaking of which, man, how many looks is he getting right now is John Takeuchi. Again, we talked about the different, those different looks doesn't amount to the same amount of damage that Papa Bonchan just dumped and dished out for the first round. You know what I'm saying? Like, that damage output is severely different.
Yeah. It's kind of nasty. Look at that, right at that distance where maybe Heavy Mixer would have whipped. Bonchan knows where to stand. And while you're looking to walk back, never mind, it doesn't matter. Perfect parry, we get the back throw though. Wake up parry. No gets clipped with the level 1. Back to full screen, back to that zoning. Calls it out. Bonchan getting the big jump, Heavy kicking again. We were talking about doubling the damage. These perfect knuckle combos. Hits the beast mode. You don't mind if I go into beast mode, do you? You're through. One more solid hit.
And that's exactly like you said, man. Just that last hit, the crouching medium punch, just such a big occupying normal. It's great. It's excellent for counter poking. And you mentioned it too. You told me to take a walk with you, and I'm like, listen, man, I was paces ahead on that one. I was putting down what you were saying a long time ago. I knew you were gonna bring it up, but I don't think it's scrubby at all. I think it's a valid strategy. How many jump-ins weren't contested today? Or sorry, how many jumps weren't contested in this matchup alone? We're going to see that stat later on, but a very, very valid strategy. So, Cola, I think, you know, those jump-ins, especially with these two characters, are something devious to try to anti-air.
I was on JB's stream. He was like, bro, he fought Noah the Prodigy, and Noah was just jumping in continuously. The only answer that was really found is like, you know, back up for Heavy Mixer, possibly, or go for perfect parry. And even that isn't always like the best option. You'd rather have like a straight up anti-air. But that's also the problem is like if you're trying to anti-air with Heavy Mixer, you're trying to back up at a range to let that work. And that's you getting walked towards the corner and Luke's like, hey, you're doing my job for free. I don't have to spend any drive gauge, no perfect knuckle combos. This is exactly what I like to have. So like you're at a little bit of a deficit. You have to figure out a way of advancing without getting jumped in on. It's going to be hard to kind of gauge when to get in, when to maybe go for air throw, maybe get preemptive with it. I'm not sure, but Takuchi has to find something. And again, the damage differential is unfortunate. Obviously, Luke dumping out what he has to in terms of like 40%, where it takes a little bit more work, a lot more work for Rashid to do the same. Takuchi has to be more aware of his resources to see what he can do to get something comparable.
Yeah, he has to build those resources as well, and it cannot be via taking damage himself, right? The more damage you're gonna take as Luke, it's gonna be lights out sooner than you know it. But all things considered, yeah, I think, you know, the issue of meter building, I don't think it's too bad if Rashid's on the offensive. I think he does quite a decent job of building some of this meter rather quickly. I think he's one of the bigger batteries of the game, but that's just a matter of actually closing the gap and not taking too much damage. So we'll see. Like, how often do we get to see Isars in certain matchups when Rashids are playing, right? We see Isars sometimes twice a game, or twice a round.
Yeah. It's like a battery. That's how you know you're doing something right when you get two of those and you're able to put the mix and put them in the blender and force them to do things they wouldn't typically. Careful of the crouching media kick, caught him walking in. Bonchan always ready and steady with these confirms. Meeting with the fireball too as well. Keeping John Takuchi jailed in.
Light. Confirm the mix too. Oh, get off of me. And I love that escape from Bonchan too, taking the appropriate risk. Cyclone as well. Heavy Mixer backed up at the right range. We're seeing a lot of control now from John Takeuchi. A whole different story.
Yeah, now in Burnout, this character gets real nasty, especially up in the corner. Can do like crouching medium kick in a mixer continuous until you get that forward heavy kick for 2-4 operate, punish, and put down with the make them up level 1. Now you're in Burnout. Watch this back in business. You have to make the most of this.
And John Takeuchi forcing the error. Bonchan trying to get lucky with a second OD uppercut, properly read from the young trickster. John Takeuchi getting opened up again in very similar fashion from previous. No, you can't catch him that way. Off of the wall jump, John Takeuchi looking to maintain this corner positioning, building some of this meter, but also definitely going to get to level 3 via the way that he did not want it to. A lot of damage. Speaking of, that level 3 is finally built up from John. Will we see the Isar setup, or will we see a push first? There it is. Yeah, the Isar's coming out now.
Walk right into it. Oh, that corner carry. Could have been worse, though. You know, you take some of his damage, but being in the corner is not a good idea. Still able to strike back. Able to get some distance with it. Backs away from that throw play. There's that dash up, crouching light kick. Stand medium kick it again. This character's great as a closer. So many ways to jail you out. Stand medium kick, or just the blessed crouching medium kick again. Bonchan poised to be on game point.
Standing light kick, drive rush on through. Try to initiate contact. Bonchan has been really successful overall, getting the first hit, lands another first hit, slowly getting walked down to the corner. And speaking of, this is a way better start for John Takeuchi thus far, especially with the opener on the low forward. Back throw now coming in from Bonchan. What happens here? The crouch medium punch, a lot of counter poking involved, but John Takeuchi, he's stuck. He's stuck right now, yeah. Oh, getting the uppercut on him.
DP for a heavy kick counter hit, medium mixer, drive rush, heavy kick. Oh, goes for the overhead block, but still gets tossed. He's got Yasar. Could definitely hit that win condition. Just needs to be able to find that right moment to send it out.
See, maybe he'll follow after a fireball, but as it stands, he's running out of options soon. He's gonna be pushed to the corner. And one big opener, I feel like for Luke, could lead to death. Could potentially lead to death. Who knows?
You're definitely right. I've seen some 70% combos. Now getting closer and closer to that moment. Nice, blocking that crouching light kick after the crouching medium and the lights too as well. Not trying to get opened up. Back throw Yasar. Yeah, there we go. What's your defense like?
And Cyclone as well. No conversion off of the counter hit, stand jab, and now out of resources. This is Bonchan's time to let it ring, especially with 10 seconds on the clock. He could chip out John Takeuchi enough to get a time over victory. 4 seconds left, double time over on the OD. 1 second. Oh my God, Papa Bonchan. Listen, man, this guy's the father of twins. He has all the patience in the world, son.
I'm telling you, bro, like the way that he is operating this character alongside the dab power up, it's difficult to break this man down. Even against the likes of Yasar, has been set up to try to like open him up. It hasn't really done too much. We've seen some corner carry, but his reversals on wake up, his reversal timing on when he wakes up with buttons and things like that has saved the day more often than not. Or he's just not been in the blender enough where it's been problematic. John Takeuchi not getting too much off these sequences. Are we taking a second to go back to Jamie? There's no way, though. There's no way, right? What do you think about Jamie versus Luke?
No,
do you think that'd be better?
No shot? I think it's fine, actually. Of course, chat's gonna persecute me for this opinion, but I think Jamie, with a couple of more drinks or just even like one drink, I think it's doable. Right, I think in terms of the damage output, it is a little bit comparable from like the early stages on, but we've seen a lot of tech kind of develop around Jamie these last couple of weeks to kind of show that he can be powerful between like level 2 and level 3. I still think about the level 3 status that Jamie has going into a OD command grab into level 3 or into a critical art doing Zangief damage, right? So that was a really fun time for Jamie players, but at the same time, I don't think that's going to be on the table for John Takeuchi. I think overall he's put so much time invested into Rashid. He can't get the mix on Bonchan though, right? He can't capitalize on some of these big moments where he has the lockdown in the corner. I want to know what happens afterwards now. Like, what is he going to do to change up this approach and make Bonchan think something silly like doing OD uppercuts again? Oh, you can't do it like that, though.
Nah, not a good start, my guy. Chaser, jump Fierce. Preemptive parries, but still gets hit to stay at Fierce, fist to face. This is a bad place to be. Up in the corner against Papa Bonchan. Lands a counter on the wake up. Oh, did not get gripped up, though. John Takeuchi looking for that back throw.
Damn. What a convincing round. Look at that match point already to conclude the team battle between these two titans. Now, John Takeuchi now trying to be aggressive, and Bonchan, he knew it. What an excellent decision to OD uppercut, just halt the momentum completely. With the Cyclone continuation, yes sir, heavy mixer, but what happens afterwards in the drive rush? You see an escape option from Bonchan? Not just yet, he tried to jump out earlier, and this is all John Takeuchi. Yeah, this has to be his round, right?
It's gotta be. Round to win. Said heavy kick with the sweep off the feet. The punish right after here. I like that from Bonchan. Wow. Deep with the cross cut. Gets a back throw too as well. Level 3 is on the side of Bonchan. One hit to land level 3. You're going to Memphis. And you are deader than dead. Papa Bonchan. 3-0 over John Takeuchi. Diddle plan is all the fist land. Rearranging John Takeuchi's face. master play with that loop, bro. That was ridiculous.
I quote, that was his round to win, right? Like that's just unfortunate, man. We talked about so many of the big weaknesses that Rashid has. Just not being able to close out the rounds. You could tell, man, some of the damage is just not there. The mix-ups, there's potential for it, but it's just not enough. Like, what happens if all of those mix-ups get blocked, right? What if the opponent is just on one and has amazing reads? What if the opponent happens to be Bonchan? Then what do you do, right? So again, we're starting to see some of the weaknesses really be highlighted against Rashid. Clearly evident, Bonchan taking out 3 games straight against John Takeuchi. And no disrespect to John, I mean, like, he played his heart out too, but at the same time, man, starting off with a critical error at the end of the game, something that needs to be fixed, but also even towards the corner control, right? Letting go and finding himself vulnerable to the whiff punish, that has to be checked out, man. That is something that needs to be reassessed. But overall for Bonchan, if you're looking at it, him bringing the team to a sudden death scenario, you got to be feeling yourselves if you're FAV Gaming. And now looking at it, who do you send up for the sudden death? St. Cola, what are your thoughts on it?
Definitely not John Takeuchi, I'll tell you that, because I don't know about the other matchups, but I feel like you put him to the side for a little bit. I think Bonchan goes up, and in rebuttal, Fudo goes up. I think Fudo, the way he's been playing today, is something different. Or either that or Nauman. What do you think?
I think Nauman might step up. I genuinely kind of feel like Nauman played a really sturdy Ken play. And if you were to be kind of put up to guess in the sudden death, I think it just makes sense to put up the strongest character. But looking at the stats overall, man, there's a lot of numbers on the side of who is it, Bonchan? I think those are Bonchan's numbers, right? But damn, that's a lot of different stats to withhold, right? So obviously we saw the anti-airs in full effect. The OD reversals. Damn, he got 5 out of 6. The one time he got punished and killed for it, that was it. 5 out of 6 is pretty impressive in calling out the ODs. And man, the drive impact as well. Dude, he's got the full repertoire of stats under his name. Very impressive. He was gaming.
He was gaming. Surprise! We didn't see the ODDP from the side of John Takeuchi, so that's a little shocking. But Bonchan on one. Let's see if he's on one for the sudden death. Another sudden death for today. It's been a while since we've had 2 sudden deaths in the same day. I don't even know if it's happened this season, to be honest, but it's happening right now. Someone's leaving with 25 points, someone's leaving with 20 points. But either way, you want to have a little bit more than the other person. Let's see who is going up. It's Bonchan. Papa Bonchan wanted to finish the job that he had started. He's already so warmed up, it makes sense. Why not send him up? But I think Nauman would be a good pick against him. Fudo also, but maybe Nauman would be better.
Ken versus Luke, perhaps. We'll find out from the leader of Detonation FocusMe. We're getting a word with Inabashi Zangief. Let's see who decides to nominate. Fudo. That's automatic. That was instantly picking Fudo. And I like that call too, Senkola. DJ versus Luke. How do you feel about the matchup on paper?
So like Ken versus Luke is kind of screwing because of the fireball. I think it's better for DJ because his fireball just dominates a little bit more space. His butt's a little bit harder to deal with. I feel like on paper it's still pretty even, but DJ I think can hang early game a little bit more than maybe Ken can. I also think DJ is a fantastic character in himself, just in general. He's got drive rush. We've already talked about fantastic distance for a medium kick, obviously for the plus frames. He has great safety up setups for days. His supers are great. He's gonna have a super that's level 2 against the fireball, so he calls it out. So I think this character could work. I mean, do you feel the same? Do you feel similar? Like DJ better than Ken in this matchup, possibly on paper, or at least the way that Fudo plays.
I feel like, taking the player into account is going to be a different conversation, no doubt about it. I think there's just so much more experience between Fudo and Bonchan than there is Nauman versus Bonchan, right? But going into the character itself, I think DJ, it's hard to tell. I think it could be rather even. But if it is ever in a slight favor of any character, I think it slightly might be in favor of Luke. Just because of the consistencies that he has with anti-airs. I think overall, anti-airs could be a little bit problematic if you're a DJ player. Maintaining your charge is one thing, but also being within the right angle is another thing to even try to anti-air with normals, especially back roundhouse. Actually, I'm sure you've seen this. I'm sure you've seen this on social media. But there are certain instances where Luke can fire off a jump fierce early to counter a back roundhouse from DJ, right? So I think one of the big inconsistencies right now is the I guess the air approach, which is weird to say, but overall I think the grounded game, I think you have a very valid point in regards to fireball ward that can ring out. I think if called correctly, Fudo can take advantage of like the heavy air slasher to counter against the sandblast. Against sandblast being very, very difficult to counter against, just because of the speed of it, not the actual projectile, but just the startup itself too. But yeah, I think it's hard to tell. Mid-range game, I think Luke can contest. He's got great counter poke normals. DJ deals out massive damage too, so you can never count that out. It's hard, man. I think the drive rush too could be a little problematic. DJ has the better drive rush. I'm gonna put it out right now. All memes aside, DJ clearly has the better drive rush, right? So it's hard to say. I think again, it's almost even, but if there is an advantage, it would slightly go towards Luke.
I think I want to agree with that. The consistency in terms of anti-airs. Also, like we talk about drive rush buttons, like yeah, his buttons are great after drive rush, but drive rush light punch is really good. That's like the mid RD special. Drive rush light punch is a fantastic way for like an entry point that a lot of Luke players are starting to get hip to. So we'll see what happens up in this matchup. It's a 1-1, putting everything on the deck with all the hits connect. This is the final game. One team leaving with 25 points. Fudo and Bonchamp back up on the sticks. It's a fake out. It's definitely going to be part of the plan.
Very aggressive start from both players too. Fudo with that drive rush forward. We talked about it earlier. That drive rush jab could be something difficult to contest against. You can't really counter it. And we talked about the anti-airs. Fudo maintaining his charge, hiding it, and he was masking it behind the fireball, which is always going to be a smart idea. Forward throw, dash up. No, he's going to walk up and still manages to get the standing medium punch conversion. There are so many mixes right now, by the way. Uppercut on in there, throw and the bait. You know, we talked about on paper character. Let's talk about player to player. Fudo has been reading Bonchan like a book.
That's Tachikawa, bro. You got that coach up on the deck. But even more so, the way that Fudo's playing and how he's been so strong mid-range in damn near every single game that he's played. You saw it with the poison. Same with that dominance right here. He'll take that trade to keep him locked up. But here we go, drive rush with the medium starter. To get the follow-up. Surprised.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go for something tricky. That was a frame kill, by the way, allowing him to get a meaty setup going, but Fudo, he was not going to be deterred. I think if you get that damage against someone like Fudo, you have to cash out just like this. Yeah, you have to cash out on the potential damage that you're getting off of these flash knuckles instead of risking it on a frame kill setup.
Oh no. Bar at the bottom, just cool conversion. You in the yellow, this damage ain't mellow. Yeah, back to the massage parlor. From the back, not from the front. Bonchamp reeling back into he knows it's defeat. That's it, Fudo. Taking it over Bonchamp. It's the better driver today.
Yeah, there was just something about Fudo that was not gonna be worrying about anything that Bonchamp was gonna be putting. Talking about being a better driver, man, he really took advantage of that drive rush. Any sort of speed bump, he's like, great, I'm gonna accelerate right over that bad boy. Not a single obstacle was put in his way. Bonchan has a lot to think about specifically for that matchup, because again, man, DJ is something that needs to be countered. Like, you need to find the proper counter against this character, because more often than not, especially with the current lineup of players right now, DJ is going to be very problematic. So big ups to Fudo right now, taking it down in the tiebreaker. Another 25-point ball game for the second set of team matches. We love to see it, man. More Street Fighter games, the better IMO. But yeah, Fudo, he's I wonder if he's ever going to pull out the Dawson. I don't think he ever really has to, but I get where he does it in certain matchups. I'm kind of curious, man, because it's been a while. I actually haven't been able to check on his CFN these last couple of days, but It's always Dawson's always welcome, to be honest with you. Not Street Fighter V Dawson. We don't talk about him anymore. But yeah, just Dawson in general. He's always welcome. He's always welcome here.
He's been developing too as well. I think that's a character that you put any time into, you should keep because he's definitely a good investment character. We've seen Zafirino work over in the U.S. with him and really showcase that character getting stronger and stronger. But DJ is just fine from the side of Fudo, and this just fine for the side of Detonation. They'd like to leave with more points, but 25 over the people that took them down the last time, that was 30-10. You'll take in the end. They get their revenge. Detonation takes it over FFV Gaming. You know, Itazan not playing just yet, but I have seen him working with Marisa recently. I know that's an unfortunate thing to hear if you're a Geef player. Sorry. But it's also the modern Marisa too as well. Maybe just not ready and prepared. We're going to get some words from him, and I'm curious to see if that's like kind of the what he's going to be talking about. Remember that he kind of came a little bit later last season when he had the G's, like developing that too as well. So what if it's a similar thing with his Marisa has to get built up to par?
Yeah, at least was one thing. It shows that he is willing to work around the meta and fully adopt a different character, right? He did that when Abigail came out, actually. At one point, we started calling him Ida Gale, right, instead of Itazan, which makes sense, right? I think overall, he has a specific archetype that he wants to play. He wants to play the big bodies. He wants to play the terrorizers most of the time. I don't blame him for going for the Marisa pick. It just falls in line with what he's been doing since 5, right? Even if it wasn't G, Abigail was definitely going to be the next runner-up for him. But I'm glad also that he actually eventually went back to Zangief. So you know that there's a potential there that he over time might come back to Zangief if that character is enough for him. But as it stands, yeah, I think Marisa should be a good call. Looking into the post-game discussion, obviously Itabashi Zangief had words for himself or for the rest of us going into it. The result being 2025. It might not be a fun point for other teams in terms of getting only 25 points, but I feel the second stage starting, we're going to do our best. Obviously, Nauman had his couple of words as well, saying that he was so relieved that he won the first game. Gonna keep up the good work. Very humble. Very humble.
Getting some words here also from John Takuchi. I'm curious to see what he's going to be doing back in the lab. Like, I actually can't wait to see if he pops open his stream like right after this, because I want to see like what he needs to do against Luke. Like, you know, he's going to go right to the lab and find a way to play against that character. But he did say, I did a really bad game. I had a really bad game in the anchor games, but my teammates covered for me. I'm going to do better next time. And, you know, that's why we also watch their streams, is to see like, okay, they're going to review their matches, say they did this and that wrong. And I want to see how he adapts that matchup, because I want to adapt to that matchup too, because I've been playing Rashid and it's definitely been difficult, you know. So I'm glad that he's also having issues, but I'm sure he'll find a way to make it a little bit more even next time that he competes. But it was, you know, Fudo saving the day. And Fudo says, I'm glad that we passed the points of the first stage, match 4. So being able to advance with a little bit more in their hands is going to be a big thing. And also take that victory over FAV, which is huge, because the last time FAV beat them 30-10. This time it's 25-10, the side of Detonation. And I got to wonder if Tachikawa, you know, coaching them has helped out at all. I wonder if that has improved them even before or during this match.
I mean, I'd imagine so. I think Tachikawa is a very much so a sound mind in fighting games. Whatever fighting game he touches, really, and also had a really impressive performance this far in the league. So I don't see why not. I don't see why that wouldn't be beneficial. But going into it, man, our second team battle has concluded. Detonation FocusMe taking the big run back, but only 5 extra points, but still ever so important. 25-20 against FAV Gaming. And of course, even towards the end, you hear it from the captain. We did great today. We're going to keep on doing it till the end. That's Itazan signing out for Detonation FocusMe. Taking a look at the stats. Obviously, in a 1-to-1, not a lot of action. You're not going to expect too much of it, but the tech throws not going to be evident there for the side of Bonchan 0-4. Even the dry impacts not going to find the mark. But in terms of the anti-airs, man, Fudo on top of it. Actually on top of it, masking his charges after the fireballs. Chef's kiss. Couldn't ask for more. But here we go. Again, we're going into a really interesting start of the second stage. 2 back-to-back tiebreakers. Listen, color us happy, because the more Street Fighter games, the better. But in this type of outcome, I can tell you right now, I didn't expect it.
We can say that for the entire season. I didn't expect that. We didn't expect Good A Squad not making it in, and some of these teams being these top spots, and even Detonation taking over FFV Gaming, who has been so dominant previously. But, you know, that's how the cookie crumbles. New game, new teams, new meta, and new ways to play means we're going to have new sorts of action out here for Street Fighter 6, out here for Street Fighter League, I should say. But either way, that makes everything more interesting when you can't just call one team dominating everything.
Oh no, without a doubt. Without a doubt. And as we gear ourselves for the final team battle of the week, just a little bit of a reminder, Shinobism Gaming is going to be facing off against Cyclops Athlete Gaming Osaka. Two very, very dominant teams, especially towards the end of the first stage, right? When you look at Section 12 and even Section 11, both of these teams had excelled in their matches, if I'm not mistaken. But again, we're taking a look at all the fine merch that's going on in the land of Japan, and also everything that's going on in the Battle Hub. These are pretty cool. I like that. I think this just got rolled out today. This is brand new information coming in for the teams of SFL all across the globe. Japan, obviously, you can see the little buttons there for the teams. What was it, 8 teams? Street Fighter League US. Ooh, I can't wait for you guys to check all of that out. Street Fighter League Europe as well. We got all the teams going on there. I do believe they're slowly starting to roll out their roster, if I'm not mistaken. So be well tuned to that. I'm pretty sure St. Cola and myself will be retweeting a lot of it, especially on Twitter. Be sure to follow us along so that we can give as many bits of information as we can to you guys as well. Speaking of which, again, you guys are tuning in to the second stage of Street Fighter League Japan. Again, we've kind of restarted, reacclimated, we've gotten ourselves reintroduced to some of these teams, and also reintroduced the format of the home and away positioning. Again, we're looking for our top 4 teams to make it into playoffs to contend against the champions of the other regions as well, going into Capcom Cup. And if you're in Japan, if you guys are fans of what's going on in Japan for Street Fighter League, well, be sure to find your local hub to support your favorite team. You can see it right here, the big viewing parties for some of the teams that actually didn't make it. Obviously, we see Good 8 Squad, Shinobism Game, or sorry, not Shinobism Game, but Hiroshima Team Ikuza. Those 2 teams didn't make it. However, the 2 big dogs right now, Shinobism Gaming and Cyclops Athlete Gaming Osaka, they got it going on. And I'm loving this, by the way. There's so much engagement going on the official live stream with Capcom TV. It's actually kind of ridiculous. We've also had a ton of VTubers really coming in and providing and showing a lot of love to the FGC. I'm really loving this connection between the pop culture, current day media, in line with the FGC as well.
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Sasa right there, doing some announcing for the Capcom TV. And I love, again, the fact that we get to see a lot of like the Street Fighter and Capcom stuff just be promoted more, advertised more. I like that we're reaching out to outside the FGC, to VTubers and things like that. Heck, I was just in an area, I was just in Wisconsin doing something with the Bucks. Like, that was super cool to have like the FGC being connected to things outside and showcasing why we love what we love. But we do love Street Fighter, and we are going to have one more match. The new kids on the block, Cyclops Athlete Gaming Osaka, are going up against Shinobism Gaming. That'll be our final match of the day. I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that one. Last time they played, it was a 40-baller on the side of Shinobism Gaming, of all things. But as history has shown us, at least today, it may not be the same way. We've seen some rebuttals, some clapbacks, and we've seen some points get distributed down to the very wire. And I'm really curious to see if we're going to have that first to one to get things done. People, don't go anywhere, because we're going to have even more Street Fighter action coming your way. Make sure you hit that sub button on the YouTube so you're keeping up with all the great things Street Fighter related on the YouTube channels. When we return from this break, we're going to have more Street Fighter League action coming right your way. Don't go too far.
なおこちらカプコン e スポーツ公式 SNS ではリーグの最新情報もお届けしています。もうねいっぱいいただいているんですけれども、ハッシュタグ SF リーグで4コメントまだまだ募集しております。番組の中でご紹介させていただきますのでよろしくお願いいたします。そしてこちらも現在ご覧いただいている YouTube、Twitch の各チャンネル登録、各種 SNS のフォローもよろしくお願いいたします。そして高評価、グッドボタンもぜひよろしくお願いいたします。お願いします。ここで再三になりますが、見ている皆さんにお願いございます。ストリートファイターリーグの運営に関わりのない第三者による本大会の模様や本大会の対戦リプレイ図のアップロードお控えください。こちらよろしくお願いいたします。 ではこの後は試合の準備のため、一度インターバル取らせていただきます。この後はセカンドステージの最終戦ですね。マッチ3、21時29分からはサイクロプスアスリートゲーミング大阪対シノビズムゲーミング、こちらの模様をお届けしてまいります。それでは一旦失礼いたします。
じゃあ早速始めるか。よしやるか。いい戦いになりそうだ。実践的なのがいいんだよな。実践ってのもいろいろだが、この街で始めるならストリートからだ。
Match number 3 is underway. We're going into the marquee matchup of this week's team battles to kick things off in the second stage of Street Fighter League Japan. Let's get right into it. CYCLOPS, Athlete, Gaming, Osaka is going to be your challenges for today. Love backed by the fighting game and the fighting game community. It's none other than Kazunoko making his pact with the Wind Devil. That's right, Dogura also on this powerhouse team, followed by the theoretical value. Whatever it is, it's not an imaginary number, that is for sure. It's Fenrich coming in hot and heavy. Of course, the master extraordinaire of all things fighting games, in my opinion, of course, none other than Goichi to show us a different look, and that makes up the composition of our team, CYCLOPS Athlete Gaming Osaka, coming in from the away side.
Versus them will be Shinobism Gaming, the School of Nasty Ninjas, headed by the likes. Not yet though, but first off, the Wicked Ninja, Johnny. We'll see what he has, the Manon and the Aki that he has been brewing in the background with that poison play. The Grave Digger and Maker himself, Fujimura, also robotic man. Right after that was the man with the plan. In the vanguard, no longer in the center stage is Yamaguchi with that DJ. Last but not least, the one that is leading the pack, the Shinobism Prime. On that modern look nowadays, Momochi with the loop. Maybe also Classic 2 as well, but a strong team right now, a strong set of characters too as well. In their list, they've got the Kens, they've got the modern and classic League 2 as well for the Momochi. Yamaguchi on the DJ, and Johnny, who knows who Johnny will be picking and playing. He has Manon, but also has been kind of playing around with Aki in the background.
What's actually kind of wild, he's been getting some pretty successful results with this Manon these last couple of weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Paying attention to the Twitterverse too, he's been excelling with this character where a lot of people just kind of dropped them. But let's take a look at the current roster from the away side. Is Goichi kicking things off with Chun-Li, followed by Kazunoko in the middle spot with Cammy. Then, of course, man, Dogura in the final spot of the anchor with the DJ. That is intimidating. Fenrich, he's taking a break today. He doesn't want to exercise too much of his JP muscle. What are you going to do now if you're Shinobism Gaming? Who do you send up first to face off against the man with the footsies? That's Goichi and Chun-Li. Who are you sending up?
I'll tell you what, you don't send up a Ken. Because I know that he's labbed out that match. We got second at the World Warrior, only to Tokido. You know he's ready for any sort of Ken that comes this way. But they are going to send up Fujimura. We'll have to give him a different look to fight him. Fujimura, obviously fantastic at himself. He got second at one of the World Warriors as well. His Ken is one of the best in the business. Almost got top 8 at EVO. Incredible with this character. And meticulous too as well. He's always been the best at finding what makes a character powerful and building his game plan like around that, being like, okay, this button is great, I'm gonna game plan around this button and really maneuver around this toolkit. And Ken definitely has a lot of powerful things to maneuver around, so we'll see what happens. As Goichi still hasn't fixed his screen at all. It's still super bright. He's still wearing the glasses. Come on now, fly us out. We'll do it. We'll do it for him. We'll fix this for him. It's got to be a button on the back for the brightness if it's too bright for him.
I think he's fully committed to the bit, Sankola. I think he's slowly starting to like really feel like he's one with these glasses. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they're goggles at this point. They've got to be like the strap goggles. You know what I'm saying? Like kind you would wear if you're going skiing or something. But yeah, I think he's fully committed to this bit. But either that or there's something we don't know. Either way, I've been paying attention to Goichi streams. He hasn't been talking about the monitor as much. So I don't know, man. It's a mystery that will forever remain a mystery, really. So Chun-Li versus Ken. Speaking of, let's solve this mystery. How does Chun-Li do up against Ken?
So, listening to Angry Bird, I feel like he has a lot of grievances against this character. You know, like her footsies are really good, her button stand fears, her walk speed especially is really good. The fact that she can walk behind the fireball and kind of dominate a lot of that range makes it a little bit more difficult for Ken to do what he'd like to do. However, Ken has a lot of ways to play against her too as well. One bad Hazachi, we've already seen those force knockdown, corner carry combos also from the side of Ken, from the side of Angry Bird too as well. And I feel like, Ken can still go toe-to-toe with her. OD Fireball can cut to the neutral. If she tries to throw out a Fireball of her own, to try to zone or like walk behind, OD Fireball is more than fine to drive rush right past. And when pressured up in the corner, she can't backdash against the throws preemptively, so that's a defensive tactic off the table. Now, she does have wake up, TK, legs to get outside that situation, which is a very safe option. Maybe even better than backdash in some cases. But that's still a defensive option that she's not able to use. So no, I think it's pretty even. Last time they did fight though, Fujimura beat Goichi in the anchor match, so this is revenge.
I think there's a lot that Chun-Li can do to kind of mitigate the threat of the mid-range game. I think her walk speed, obviously we talked about that before. I think being able to use the handshake either back medium punch or forward medium punch in areas where he'd want to throw out, where Ken would want to throw out low medium kicks or even like a fireball. I've seen that exchange happen a couple of times over where people would react to a fireball and use the handshake to trade off with the characters. So I have seen that. I think one of the biggest deterrents is though, I don't like her defensive options, man. I'm not too fond of like of tensho kicks too often as a anti-air tool. I don't think it's consistent enough against some of the things that Ken's like to do, at least with jumping fierce. I do really mean just jumping fierce. But yeah, I mean, other than that, those couple of things in that regard, I think it's really hard to say if one has the advantage over the other. Specifically, I think Chun-Li does really well against Shotos.
Yeah, historically has, and now also I feel like in this game definitely as well. But Ken, walk on throw from Fujimura. He said, "Bro, I got an answer. It's just a light stroll through the park." Are you kidding me?
Feel today, I guess.
He said he was nervous.
I mean, he's just playing as usual. As he mentioned, hopefully that leads to the win. That's what he was talking about before we even got ready. Big counter hit conversion from Goichi. Again, we talked about control. Again, a big counter poke from Stan Jeb against the drive rush. Goichi, well aware. OD Tensho to chase down the jump out. OD uppercut now in rebuttal from Fujimura. Not gonna take it lying down. And again, he could spend the rest of that bar if he wanted to. Nice and easy. Goichi optimizing the combo too. Doesn't spend the rest of that drive gauge. I see you.
Like that stand jab to stuff these drive rushes over consistently. We're have to see a different button here for Fujimura. Now he's going for raw sweep off the feet. OD Tensho kick, get some distance with it. Drive rush, this time the throw, no overhead. Perfectly fine as he pushes Fujimura to the corner. Slowly, damn! What an interruption against a fireball. Able to land that level 2 with a pickup.
What did we talk about, Senkola? What did we talk about? The handshake of destiny, man. Stuffing out that mid-range game, fireballs included. Low medium kick, and now Goichi not gonna overextend as well. Misses opportunity for a big combo. Speaking of big combos, incoming. We got the Tatsu, enhanced version, double dash over. Oh, the Tensho kicks! Goichi absolutely ready for it on defense.
No base here. What's up, Fujimura just yet? He's got the bar at the bottom. I'd like to get an overhead into level 3 possibly, get that burnout, but Goichi's just so dominant, leaving the fireballs off the table, trying to give him one more handshake to seal the deal. OD fireball to cover some of that approach. It's one touch, and oh, the reactions from Fujimura.
Oh,
that was godlike.
Are you dead? Oh, I thought you were for some reason. The wake-up desperation from Goichi. He wasn't even trying to see the light of day. The sunglasses just blocking his way. Didn't have the right answer against the drive rush, and now it's Fujimura. Enhanced Tatsu, corner carry again. A little bit of a stutter step. Didn't get a conversion off of the stand medium punch, but hey, he got a punish counter throw, and another throw followed by that. Peppering in the lights, the barrage, now another throw, Dragon Lash, catching a counter hit, catching a case, and now, oh, he could have caught a body. But wait a minute, Goichi has a chance, perhaps. Can't do it.
Yeah, can't do it. The way
didn't have enough life in the tank.
The way that he is playing, he ain't seen the gates of God for that disgusting punish. That was insane. He just ain't, bro. Fujimura on one, and what a way to route it back in that level 3 and then pulling it back to that final round. All right, what's going down now is Goichi getting that pickup. I feel like Fujimura's getting the most off of some of these exchanges, at least more often than not, but the footsies though from Goichi have been pretty dominant in rebuttal. OD DP on wake up immediately, get some distance with it with the fireball.
And I think he's 100% on that too. The OD reversals have been so on point for Goichi, making the right call outs and the right reads. against Fujimura, being rather aggressive. But to be fair, that aggression net him that first game. So it's completely understandable for Fujimura to continuously press on the gas. Goichi, now he just won't throw away. Oh, the uppercut. Speaking of aggression, Fujimura, he hasn't made the right call against Goichi's offense. That OD uppercut has been continuously punished, I think.
Yeah, we really haven't seen that in return, though. OD fireball, okay, drive for stand fears. Enhanced Tatsu for the full corner carry and lots of Oki. Perfect parry. Still waits and gets a back throw, though. Goichi now harassing him in the corner. Has a lot of drive gates to do so.
Yeah, kind of weary of the OD uppercut just in case because of how antsy Fujimura's been on the reversal. But look at this, the punish counter against the normals of Chun-Li. That's standing fierce, being able to set it off. Back throw, speaking of set it off, now Goichi, he has the momentum and the corner drive impact. Plenty of time for Fujimura to react. And look at this, match point for Fujimura. Both looking at 3 bars down below as well.
Fujimura looking really stable. Lands a crouching kick, drive rush, Tatsu, DP right afterward, caught up in that corner. Careful now, stagger stepping just a little bit. You've seen the bust outs. Light kick, resets in the overhead into level 3. Oh my God, Fujimura, you nasty son of a gun. Devious dog. With all that drive gauge too, caught up in the corner. Overhead again, that's a throw. So that crouching mini kick is the way to play. Long distance with it, and Fujimura is more than with the game point solidified for him. That corner pressure too insane. These overhead resets, man. Fujimura. All it took was that level 3, I feel like. That CA, I should say. That CA on reaction, for sure. That's all you needed to wake up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There's a lot of things that are in consideration of the Hazanchu, right? Even if you throw the fireball, whether you hit or miss, if you have something like that, back it up with resources, you're gonna be buffering that super no matter what. So that was either way like a really great call out from Fujimura. But even so, after that, the sneakiness behind the mixes, like we talked about Goichi having some of the best defense in the business, in the realm of the FGC. Like every game that he touches, I feel like he has some of the most impressive defense, and that's one of his known trademarks. To see him fall short to the overhead twice over to Fujimura tells me that Fujimura, he's spelling out something different. He's spelling it out in a different language. You will not block me. He did not get that message in time. I'm telling you, man, the sunglasses might have blocked him a little bit. So let's take a look at those stats. Fujimura, interesting. Very interesting. OD reversals 1 for 2. I could have sworn he had a little bit more than that, but maybe I'm mistaken. I'll take a look at that matchup once more. But either way, the OD reversals from the side of Chun-Li as well, 2 out of 3. We'll take those from Goichi. Pretty good assessment in terms of the risk and reward factor. But overall, man, the tech throw is obviously going to be an issue. 0-7 when it comes to trying to tech against Chun-Li's throw. 4 out of 9, man. Kind of attributes to the defensive aspect of Goichi that we were talking about earlier. Being able to contest against throw loops, pretty big deal. But again, we saw what happened with the drive impacts as well from both ends. We saw people get baited into drive impact when they didn't have life, and we also saw people baiting drive impacts after drive rushes. So really impressive either way. Fujimura comes out the victor. An excellent choice thus far for Shinobism Gaming. Problem is, who do you send up next against Kazunoko, former Capcom Cup champion?
Man, this is a difficult one. I hear Momochi talking. Is he coming up?
He delegated himself.
To me. Leave him to me. So now, something I've been seeing recently, I watched him in the Reject tournament and a few other tournaments and on his stream. He's been working on Modern Luke. And they just said it right there. That Modern Luke is coming up on the deck, and it's already super powerful. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he picks up a character so quickly and finds his way to such a high level. That's just a champion right there, an Evo champion right there. But it's not going to be an easy one. Kazunoko, a champion of many games, including Street Fighter, not going to be an easy one to deal with. Even with the modern reactions and the modern capabilities that you have with Luke, you're not going to be able to DP the likes of Kazunoko continuously because this dude hides in the dive kicks very, very well. he sprinkles them in and only dumps them in when he really feels like he's going to be able to get that follow-up right after, or he feels like you are going to be throwing out a button to get like a punish counter. He's never going to do it without, you know, without a lot of thought. That makes sense.
It kind of does, yeah. No, I could easily get behind that idea. There's something about the way that Momochi has been putting in the work on his stream, right? He goes through the very long streams to break down the characters, and I think it goes without saying that obviously he's a talented individual, but he's obviously showing in the hard work as well, right? Going into the pregame interviews as well, talking about Modern Luke, but also talking about the players that he has. He's been playing, oh no, this is coming in from Kazunoko, my mistake, but obviously we're going to get the translation coming in from Momochi really soon. Very much so happy to face against Kazunoko again. Two legends facing off against each other again in a very similar atmosphere of the Street Fighter nature, right? I haven't seen these two compete since 4, genuinely. I mean, like, we saw the early phases of 5, but Kazunoko has stepped away from that just a little bit too. So yeah, this is a very interesting clash. Momochi looking to play well, hoping he can win, but with modern controller Luke, this is going to be a very interesting look, right? I think this character is so dangerous. Modern Luke is just so dangerous. Let's take a look too. Some of the normals that Luke doesn't have, I think are going to be interesting to note. Medium kick and light kick are off the table with Modern Luke, right? He also doesn't have the very obnoxious jumping heavy punch intact, nor does he have a jump medium punch. So if you ever see a combo in the corner that revolves around the flash knuckles, guess what? He has to go into a different ender. He has to go into maybe fireball into uppercut for damage, or maybe even like light knuckle into an uppercut, etc. You're not going to get those safe jump setups anymore in the corner as Luke. So that's one really big thing to consider too.
Also, I feel like stand light kick not being in this matchup, where it can check and challenge stand medium kick from Cammy at some ranges, and even stand heavy kick sometimes too, but more often it's just stand medium kick, which is like kind of like the ruler testing kind of like the ranges and stuff like that. Might be kind of problematic. And that stand medium kick not being into as well to kind of delete that drive gauge off the table on block, that might be problematic. But then again, you have the reverse of things where you can react a little faster. You give a motion into button for like DPs, which may be better to anti the likes of Cammy, who is hard to anti in the first place. You know, you also have quick reaction with fireball, supers, and things like that. Maybe that helps out in some of these matchups where you're fighting someone that's as fast-paced as Kazunoko. So we'll see. But Kazunoko said he's experienced modern man Luke through the side of Tachikawa. He has fought someone who is high level with that. We saw Tachikawa do work in the previous part of this season. So for good reason, man's going to understand that matchup. And it is a matchup. It's a different sort of matchup. It's not like you're playing the same character. You're playing a different matchup. They have different toolkits. There's a different way you have to approach. You have to bait out reactions. You might have to, you know, play a different way. They have certain tools that they may not be able to punish with. You have to take that in consideration, as you pointed out, for safe jump setups. There's different things that you have to approach with. You cannot play it the same way, especially not at this level. So I know that Kazunoko has understood that, and he's already labbed this out and already had that work with Tachikawa.
We'll see how it plays out, right? Cammy versus Luke. Here we go. The second player match of this team battle, the third and final team battle of the week, here at the start of second stage. Already off to a pretty important start. Man, that roundhouse clipped the drive rush on the start. Kazunoko at the wrong place at the wrong time. Pressing throws where he shouldn't. That's the exact ender we were talking about earlier, right? Looking for that damage. Momochi backing away, doesn't want to overextend, or so I thought. Now he's just ringing it in with the drive rush. And speaking of, in the burnout phase, Kazunoko is going to take full advantage of this with plenty of plus advantages.
Nice.
Plus advantage situations, excuse me.
OD bust out though, gets a side switch. Big beneficial thing to run the drive attack, but you have to be careful about the level 1 busting out. Momochi double dashing in to put the lights out on Kazunoko with that stand jab target combo sequence. Fantastic stuff. The side of Momochi. However, here's Oki off the spiral arrow. ODDP immediately. Doesn't have to hold any of that pressure. I get it.
Does get the low exposure off of the lights as well. Forward throw. Another one afterwards. Could continue to do so if he wanted to. OD uppercut. Momochi having the right reads. Oh, puts himself in the burnout. He got standing heavy punch. However, Kazunoko was mid-air. Not going to really capitalize on that, obviously. So Kazunoko, very, very fortunate to have that happen. Forward throw again. Roundhouse now spinning around. Gets to assault with the dive kicks on the way through. No reaction thus far. The drive game's fully built up for Momochi.
Cross-cut DP, of course. OD. One hit to do with the light kick. Buffer in a spiral arrow to stop him from coming through. My man is on duty right now. Kazunoko is clocked in. He's got a lot of bar to utilize at the bottom too as well. He's at that level 3. Maybe equalize things or get the finish. Momochi starts off strong.
Oh. Fireballs ringing out. Very risky too. We talked about the spin knuckle being one of the main factors to blow by fireballs earlier. Get the forward throw and the burnout. I'm loving that punish counter from Momochi. Still not able to contest against the really sharp angled dive kicks. Drive rush forward. Nothing to it though. No counter hit. A different approach from Kazunoko. Prioritizing the side switch. I see you.
Getting out of there. On the exit sign. Now he's almost fine with that drive gauge. It's almost built up. It's right there now. Get back into business. Well, Mochi has him caught up in the corner, but it doesn't matter. The low, though, charged up DP. Level 3 immediately, expeditiously gonna maul up that drive gauge and put himself in a beneficial point right here. This is good. Still, you have to worry about the bar at the bottom here from Momochi. Even scale damage can still hurt from the side of Luke.
And that's agreed too. So you're not gonna look for any of the big frame trap scenarios, the plus frame scenarios. Oh wait, no way. Momochi is just something different. What a great read against the OD dive kick. Kazunoko knowing full well he could be in hot pursuit afterwards, and he built the drive gauge too. Wasn't paying attention. Try to get a drive impact as well. It's Momochi taking down the first game pretty convincingly.
Okay, modern man working out. But again, Kazunoko got to be pocket watching. You got to see what they got in their bar and what they're going to deliberate with. Got the bar back, and Mochi able to take the first game. I do like some of Kazunoko's ideas, but the reads from Momochi, using that super on the dive kick, knowing that he wanted to take back his turn was pretty incredible. Oh yeah, ODDP immediately.
Checking for the low exposure, staggering the pressure off of the crouching lights. And now Kazunoko with a big opening, fully converted from the spin knuckle. Forward throw, fierce spin knuckle again. Got a counter hit, frame trap on Momochi, and the stun to seal at least a good amount of damage. Not quite the round yet. Trying to get a frame kill. Oh, the uppercut from Momochi. Not gonna have it on defense.
Nice whip punch back up with a stand light kick to hit, but still, you back up, you stand in without watching and tones the crush when the kick is going to hit. Gets the back throw. Momochi's still in this game right now. Still definitely doable. How do you get in? You're worried about them modern man reactions. Them easy DPs. Dance of death right now.
Really difficult right now for Kazunoko to close out the round, right? He smells defeat on the opposition. The back fierce rings out, man. The big counter poke, beast mode, baby. Is it gonna be enough damage? Not enough. Oh my God, yo, Kazunoko just ran right into it.
Ate that with his face, but I like that he used drive rush suppressor to delete that stand light kick that had been stuffing and stopping his drive rush preemptively. Momochi understands this matchup. He's on set point. Gonna jump in DP, nice and easy, Kazunoko. Been on duty with those. Stand light kick, drive rush right after a dive kick, reset the positioning, and now goes into the super.
Another important tech, but it's not gonna stop Kazunoko from moving on in there, just utilizing that walk speed. So intimidating. Jump short, getting the force knockdown. Momochi expertly hiding in that throw, getting the back throw, but trying to hide the drive impact. Not today, fella. Kazunoko, well aware of the strategies in the current meta, obviously getting the big counter against the drive impact. And now, speaking of which, now getting the big opener, Kazunoko. Forward throw again. Keep on going. Keep on going until it doesn't work anymore.
The challenge on the walk back, and those actually would have worked out, but however, Mochi strikes back, gets the chaser Oki, jab, no crouch, even kick, drive rush, no sharp anti-air, the super again. Modern problems require modern solutions. Gonna hit that dive kick, walk back to let it whip and hit it with that level 3. Now damn near equal. Still, Kazunoko sits on a full bar.
So tough to call. Almost dead even in life. The standing medium kick punish counter. And also another punish counter coming in for the dive kick. Level 3 incoming now is going to be more than enough damage. Kazunoko keeping it clean and keeping it steady. I'm loving the back and forth right now between these two players. It's so tough to call, especially in neutral, man. Kazunoko, he's been one to admit, man, sometimes I don't have the best footsies, so I'll pick characters that kind of bypass neutral. That's literally been in an interview he's made decades, or not, you know, that many decades ago, but a few years ago.
This character definitely can with the dive kicks. Yeah, that's a mix-up. But it's great. I mean, even him saying that, he still has great footsies. Maybe not always going to have the head confirms where need be, but he understands the placement of these buttons. Oh, man, as soon as I was blessing him with the great dive kicks, he misses that one. Still wakes up the light, still finds a shimmy. And now, Mochi almost found himself in the corner, had to go for the tag. The neutral jump, dive kick connects. That's still a lot of damage, modern or not.
Back dash to escape the throw. Again, in a very similar situation where the life is almost even. Forward throw making it a lot closer. I can't tell you who has a life lead right now, but it might be Luke by a smidge. He's still looking for a way to force the corner against Kazunoko, but I do like the usage of the fireballs. He's really trying to test Kazunoko's patience to see whether or not the spin knuckle will be active. But you're really poking the bear if you're still trying to throw fireballs against Cammy.
Yeah, you really are. He's at a close enough range where he makes it a little bit more ambiguous, but it's still dangerous against the likes of Kazunoko. Didn't react to the drive impact too far. Gets a crouching medium kick though. Yo, Kazunoko clipping him low, catching him walking back again. And that's Kazunoko with the win. After that drive impact, you usually see the other person taking advantage of that situation and trying to get like a stand fierce or whatever, but Momochi walking back, or standing up at least. Kazunoko reading that and finding the ODDP off to a pretty decent start bar.
Medium kick, now getting the back throw. Momochi's still weary of what Kazunoko wants to do on wake up, so he's not going to overextend. He's going to be big chilling, slowly whittling down and grinding out this life with that forward throw. Now again, not going to be in hot pursuit. But speaking of hot pursuit, Kazunoko now finding the opening, neutral jump to bait out either a normal or a throw. Either way, doesn't find success. Momochi putting himself into burnout. I don't know what that was.
I'm trying to drive rush forward, like suppressor or something, but I don't know. Up in the corner against Cammy when she's got drive gauge and she's enacting that scammy Cammy pressure. Strike throw over and over again. Third time is fine. Give me a fourth. The attack, the throw does not connect, but it's drive impact either way. No gaps though. Jab, we wait, we bait. Time to decimate. Kazunoko. 2 on form with it right now. Even against the modern reaction to the modern man, Momochi. We've been doing work in the recheck tournament that had like dominant players out there. It didn't matter. Kazunoko. Those crouching meter kicks landed. If there was a stat, it had to be in like the 85% area range, even maybe 90%. How many times he opened up Momochi? Incredible.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. You know, low forward from Kazunoko. Obviously, he's well versed in the footsie department now, right? That interview was like pre-Capcom Cup champion Kazunoko. Look at him now. Look at him go, right? But all jokes aside, I mean, that low forward is really something to recognize. I think there's a lot that really can be said about exposing some of the bad habits of players, how they try to micro walk back out of certain situations. Cammy's the perfect character to blow that exact option up. So Kazunoko taking full advantage of that. Momochi opting for a lot of movement, I feel like, in terms of control. And I don't blame him, man. Modern Luke, there's a lot that he can do to kind of stuff out a lot of the things that characters want to do in terms of the counter poke game too. But Cammy, man, it adds up to a little bit too much. And also very similar in values when it comes to the anti-air department, right? 67% on both ends. I like that a lot, man. There's a lot that you could do against a Cammy dive kick, but to take it down consistently at that number, That's pretty decent. It is truly pretty decent.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What's also pretty good is I want to point out the fact that you were talking about how to, you know, fight against like modern. You know, the modern reactions, they have the ability to kind of walk back and things like that and find these easy DPs and stuff. But you see Kazunoko playing around that element. And again, this is a matchup thing. People have to figure out how to fight modern. And Kazunoko has studied how to deal with it. He's, I guess, seen that modern people maybe stand up a little bit more often than not, try to maybe get these easy DPs and things like that, which we do see on both sides. But however, Kazunoko, again, if I could get a stat on the crouching medium kicks, they were able to tail the tape and blowing up Momochi, walking back, standing up. It was a big pivotal point in terms of just defeating Momochi and playing against that modern sort of play. Now, modern players have to think about, when do I have to be, you know, blocking or, you know, holding down back as much as possible and adjusting myself in the neutral. We're 10-10 now. Now we come to the end here. Dogura is up for the side of Cyclops. Who do you send up from Shinobism Gaming?
That's a tough question. That is such a tough question. Leaving it up to chance, I mean, Yamaguchi or Johnny. I want to say Yamaguchi, man. Yamaguchi is so clutch in the anchor spot lately. And also him playing Luke could be pretty good against DJ. We had that conversation earlier, right? Yeah, Yamaguchi is going to be the candidate, the prime ninja candidate going up. Luke versus DJ. I like this pick a lot. Oh, actually, no, he's been playing DJ. My mistake. Yeah, so okay. Very, very interesting. My initial thought process was I might have seen him on CFN rocking that Luke, but having the DJ as well, yeah. We'll definitely take that. We will 100% take that. The mirror match? 100%. Yeah, so in Section 12, Yamaguchi took down Kawano from Good A Squad, putting one of the nails in the coffin, right, with a very impressive DJ, 2-0. But overall, man, Yamaguchi's DJ, I think he's been putting in that work in the first stage, right? I might have been confused. I might have tricked myself, but wait a minute. Hold on.
Well, hold on.
My player analysis has been halted. My player analysis has been fully halted because Dogura is cheating. It is official. He has performance enhancing sense. Clearly, he's trying to hide it, but it's already out there on the screen. Uh-oh.
Got him.
That incense is burning, man. That incense is burning. I don't know how I feel about that. Oh, wait a minute. No, Dogura. So his initial thought was he thought that Johnny would be coming up to bat, but his lemon scents, they evaporated. He was about to talk about his incense. His lemon scents, they actually evaporated. He has to go change it.
Oh, no. It's too late, bro. You got to go play. But, okay, we were talking about the mirror match. But I went to his stream, and I saw something green on his screen, all right? I saw a little Blanca. And during Reject, he played Tokido in Grand Finals with the Blanca, and it was looking nice. I mean, he made it to Grand Finals, that stack tournament with Blanca. So I asked him, are you switching to Blanca now? And he said, no, but it is my other character. That's my secondary. So, if need be, he can switch over to the Blanca. Now, I don't know. I don't think Blanca does that well in the DJ matchup, to be honest. But if he wants to get away from the mirror match, he can run that. We'll have to see if that happens or if he'll just stick with it.
I do appreciate the DJ matchup. I mean, the mirror match is always going to be so fun to watch. Overall, we're going to see explosive damage. We're going to see a lot of green light. We're going to see a lot of stop and go. But yeah, overall, Yamaguchi, I'm very confident in his ability because he was one of the guys to really look forward to in the first stage of the game. Hopefully we get a tidbit of how he performed. I know we had that graphic up for some of the other players, but as I take the time in, and you don't notice this, but I'm actually searching it up on the internet right now as we speak. But for Shinobism Gaming, looking at Yamaguchi's current stats, right, in first stage, he went 5 for 7 in terms of the wins. 5 out of 7 is pretty impressive, getting himself 60 points. And against some of the big hitters, right, he's taken down Ryusei, he's taken down Fenrich, the second version of Fenrich, by the way, where he found his new confidence. He took down Kawano, Akira, Storm, Kubo. Oh no, he lost to Akira. He's taken down Kawano as well. So there's a lot. There's a lot that Yamaguchi's been putting in. It's definitely that work. It's definitely that DJ. So we'll see how the mirror match goes in this final matchup.
You know, also, he did put in work in the Second World Warrior. He did win that, had that ridiculous charging with the DP up in the corner against, actually, Kabe. Or was it Fujimura, one of the Kim players? Whoever it was, it doesn't matter, because he won in the end. And I feel like it was Fujimura. Okay, it was Fujimura. So like in the end, like I feel like that's gotta boost that confidence. I mean, he says I don't have that much confidence, but I do what I practice. Hopefully, I succeed in overwhelming him. I mean, even beyond just overwhelming him, his defense has been fantastic. Before even Street Fighter 6's defense was great. Can he be the iron wall that will make Dogura fall in this final match? 10 points on both sides. He's gonna walk away with the majority.
Oh. I love the sway, the Just Cool coming in from Yamaguchi. Full experience with the ranges on that bad boy and also what to do with it once it's a punish counter. But man, he is busting up some Ikoma Devil. He is busting up some Dogura right now.
Bro, perfect. Why is it every time a player says they don't got confidence, they start cooking? Same with Fujimura. He said, I ain't got no confidence, bro. He cooked. Same with Yamaguchi, at least to start off the party. We'll see if things get a little bit different. We see the counter hit, target combo, will follow up, but does get some damage to the deck. Drive rushes in, finds a punish. Nice stuff right here. Just Cool conversion. Gets a pick up with the jackknife on point.
Now finding a chance to act against the OD Fireball. Speaking of perfects, firing right back. Dogura, he found the lemon sense. He found it.
There we go. Got restocked. Oh, medium kick, yeah, Dogura initiated medium for a medium of all things.
Yeah, to be fair, you know, Dogura had misspaced really the crouching medium punch, which led to a full punish counter, and Yamaguchi, he was ready for it. Move on in there, big fella. Walk up a little bit, get the machine gun upper, build some drive gauge for yourself. You can technically drive impact, however, you can't test the Ikoma Devil's reactions. He does have some critical art on deck.
And speaking of reactions, Yamaguchi baits it out, finds a punch. Easy bait of it for this dude. Incredible. He neutral jumped to call out the super. The confidence is in the play, though. Maybe not before, but once he put hands on the sticks, it was hands of the man with his own character. Wow.
Ayo, that's the first game going into Yamaguchi, and with successful reads against Dogura and what he wants to do on defense, it's been pretty important also. And the misplacing of the crouching medium punch, I feel like, is what really spelled defeat for Dogura. We don't really often see Dogura falter in that fashion, not just, you know, only in missing his normal, but also getting a perfect one in the first game to start things off. Okay, I think Yamaguchi's just built different today. No pun intended, or sorry, no memes intended. I think Yamaguchi, man, we talk about the confidence level that he's had going into this game. I call him, I think he's a liar, bro. I think he's a full-fledged liar. That was a very dominant start.
Ninja tactics, bro. Fujimura said the same thing. Not gonna fool me, Yamaguchi. You're not gonna fool me, guy. I see the way you're playing. And someone that has great defense is gonna understand how to blow up other people's defense too as well, and their tactics and things like that. And the way that he is able to keep the drive gauge as much as possible, up as much as possible, to dump out these Just Cool conversions and combos to get as much damage as possible has been great. And for Dogura to get blown up, as you pointed out, someone who feels like they're almost psychic, calling out what you want to do, getting punish counter, Just Cool light kicks and things like that. It's kind of incredible to see him falter to his own character. Mirror matches are definitely difficult to do and deal with, but we see a switch up though. I feel like the mirror match is the way to play. I don't think Blanc is any better. He's still sticking with it. All right.
Yeah, I don't see the switch either way. Yamaguchi is going to be pretty confident sticking it out with what he's got, but Dogura might be a little cause for concern. The soul bots are coming out a lot more frequently from both ends, but just like that, Just Cool baiting out the forward medium kick is going to be Yamaguchi getting the knockdown, plus a ton of damage behind it. Dear God.
All right, forward medium kick, throwing up the Just Cool. Punch count on that parry. Better walk up for another throw. Next check-in challenge. Soul bot for the knockdown. Another turn up for the fireball. Sweep off the feet, Dogura. We try to bait out a reversal. Trade OD, are you kidding me? This is so ready. Found a punish, and he gets a plate. Yeah, extra oxtail. Yamaguchi, beasted. He beasted up.
He's got everything. He's got all the right answers too. What a worthy performance, and utilizing that level 2 as well. So smart to establish that lead.
blistering of buttons too as well. A lot of them, you know, he's not putting out, not drive impactable. He's hiding what are. That's a problem with DJ. He can't drive impactable on his buttons, so you have to be careful what you put out. Calls out the sway. Dogra has him in the corner. We'll go for OD fireball. No, just jab. Waits a little bit. Gets a throw.
Calling it out. OD uppercut. OD maximum, excuse me. Jackknife maximum. Hello. And it's going to be tough, too. Yeah, Yamaguchi, although sitting at 1 bar, Dogra has to find a way to close it out, too. Oh, no. This might spell defeat coming in real soon if he gets the big opener. Hey, that's big enough off of the lights. The level 2 is going to be putting the most work so long as he doesn't drop it. There we go. Yamaguchi, 2 in a row against Dogra. Damn.
I don't know if the lady gave him extra oxtail meat. I don't know what he's listening to, but Yamaguchi is playing out of his mind, and that's saying something in comparison to how he was playing previously. It's not like he was playing bad previously, obviously, is great, but even during the World Warrior, just the way that he's moving and grooving with this character in this mirror match, lacking confidence, he is on something different. Dogra is at a loss, and I'm at a loss at what Dogra should even be doing right now. It feels like everything, all that psychic power that Dogra has been wafted on over to Yamaguchi. Let me find out Yamaguchi got that strawberry sense or something like that. He got something burning in the background. Maybe a strawberry, raspberry or something. Maybe it's more powerful than lemon.
Perhaps. I wouldn't be surprised if Yamaguchi is listening to something that's dedicated for all his dogs. But I'll tell you what right now, 2 games straight for Dogra. Pretty consistent right now in terms of the meter expenditure, in terms of the whiff punishes, and the overall strategy with the drive rush, showing different looks too. When we talk about the drive rushes that come in from DJ, the last thing we expect is a crouching low. Like the exposure with the crouching low, especially with how far it is, can be really deceptive. Is that who I think it is? Ah, I see. You were talking about Dogra and the Blanca. Yes, sir. And this isn't the first time we've really seen this, so I think this makes a lot of sense. Him pulling it out right now. Let's see if Yamaguchi is ready for it.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, Dogra, definitely the trickster. I'm not going to play a character last week. And see him work with his character, he had some really good conversions with a little Blanca-chan. Yeah, I feel like every chance that he gets, he tries to land that to really rule the neutral. He's going to have to do so because the neutral is definitely ruled by DJ up in this matchup, I feel. Talk to some of the Blanca players, they do not enjoy this matchup at all. Oh, can he activate it? No, sweep off the feet.
This is an opportunity to get the Blanca-chan perhaps off of a block string. We do get the lightning. And no, nothing of it, even within the block string there. Or actually the block stun there, excuse me. Yamaguchi out of harm's way. The counter hit out to the lightning. The roundhouse striking him too. He can spend the rest of this bar. Are we gonna see the level 2 after the burnout, the self burnout of that? Of course we're gonna see the level 2. Who am I kidding? Yamaguchi looking at match point to close out the day, perhaps? Question mark. Let's see how it turns out. That was an excellent conversion from Yamaguchi.
He stuffs the drive rush to the stand light punch. Definitely the quickest button in the business. Nice interruption against the just cool feint right there. The fall with the Blanca ball. Crouching medium punch, drops the elbows on him. Hits him with the jackknife, drive rushing with the medium. Some plus frames going and flowing. Staggers the crouching medium punch, but it's hit with the super.
Yeah, the Shadow Earth super. Now we got the Lightning Beast. Rolling Cannon on the other side. The cross up. So tricky. Machine gun upper by accident? What?
Some damage. Calls out the command grab.
He had it. He had it, Saint-Cola. He could have done triple jab into a drive rush jab starter. Oh, he had it into level 2. Yamaguchi.
Finish your fight. Do not let Dogra get stronger and stronger, man. Don't let him do it.
Oh, back throw is everything for Dogra. Parry, dash up for the full punish. And a reset.
Back throw.
Man, Yamaguchi's looking real clean. That's gonna be more than enough damage. Level 3 doesn't even need it. Yamaguchi, 3 games straight over Dogra? That is unprecedented. No way. No way. What a call out coming in from Shinobism Gaming. My man Momochi said, you know what, Yamaguchi, he's got this. But 3-0? Yo, color me surprised, legit.
Man from Montego Bay, Yamaguchi getting 30 points in total for his team, and the very end, winning the anchor match, they're going to take another victory over CYCLOPS. Last time it was 40, this time it was 30, so at least CYCLOPS leads with something, but damn, what a dominant performance. The MVP of the day most definitely is Yamaguchi, that dominant DJ play. If, you know, I'm looking at this as a player in Japan, and I'm watching this, and I'm looking at the day of the 14th come up for the World Warrior event for Japan, I'm looking at Yamaguchi to make a deep, deep run, bros, because this dude is looking dominant. Mirror match or not, he has all of the DJ play. He may, by that, just that game right there, I mean, he's obviously been one of the best, but I think he might be at the top out here, taking the crown for Dogora's head, and taking the most points he can for his team. I mean, damn.
Yeah,
he's good.
Damn is right. If you're taking a look at the current theme of all of the team battles that have occurred thus far, all of the anchor matches have resulted in 3-0s. That's right. Nemo got his 3-0 with the JP over Mago. Bonchan got his 3-0 over John Takauchi's Rashid, and now Yamaguchi 3-0 DJ. These guys are feeling real different in the anchor spot, and I'm liking it.
That confidence that he said he didn't have, I ain't seeing his gameplay. Maybe that just gets him amped up. I'm not sure, but I can't wait to see what he's going to be saying about that as we get in more of these interviews. Definitely curious to see what he's saying. Also curious to see what Johnny's saying. I want to know if Johnny's going to play Manan and Aki, or if Aki's kind of like that side piece you have for other things, and you'll focus on Manan. As you pointed, Manan, not that bad out here. Street Fighter League, you know, he hasn't had the worst results out of all the players. And outside, in tournament style things, he's been doing work too as well. Johnny said that Dogora said in the interview that he was expecting me. So Johnny was expected to fight Dogora, but Dogora called it wrong. And I wonder if like it was like, hey, they're gonna try Aki, or they're gonna try Manan. But either way, Dogora called it wrong, and he wasn't confident. So Yamaguchi went up, and even though Yamaguchi wasn't confident, he was confident on the 6 when he got in the match, though.
That's the kind of confidence that'll just really excel you towards the rest of the season, to be honest with you. With that kind of explosive results just really screams out the potential for me. So really curious to see how that guides him further on in the team battles, because man, I don't think I've ever seen Dogora get clapped like that convincingly, to be straight up. But as it stands right now, again, Fujimura also putting in that work. Very impressive Ken against Goichi. It could have gone either way with the way that both were playing. Momochi as well with the Luke against Kazunoko. That could have gone either way with the way that Momochi was playing. So it's been it's so refreshing to see the different looks nowadays. Going in from phase 1 into phase 2, I do like to see how the meta shapes, specifically in Japan, right? We're following so closely with the World Warrior, we're following so closely with CR Cup and all the other mini tournaments that happen, or the sub-tournaments that happen within some of the streamers' communities, especially Daigo's, right? Daigo's got a bunch of them going on. I think Ibushigen also held one not too long ago. But yeah, overall, it's been very exciting to see how much of the Japanese talent is currently developing, right?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of the local talent develop too as well. You know, I just caught Leo, who was the one that took down Sasamo at the Daigo tournament that he was having, the Oriwa tournament.
Yeah,
you know, he's been out there doing a lot of work. He's 11 years old and piecing up people 3 to 4 times his age is incredible. You know, this scene has been bustling. I feel like a lot of people are going out and playing locally, playing online, grinding this game, as it has been everywhere. But it's great that Japan is doing the same thing. Fujimura says, I did as usual, the team played as usual, and it was a decent game. How was that a decent game? You hit 2 overheads on the iron wall as Goichi. Are you kidding me? How was it a decent game? Man's way too humble. Momochi says, I was hesitating on some moves, so I felt I needed some more practice. I feel like that maybe, like, you know, hesitating against the dive kicks is something that's going to happen against Alexa Kazunoko no matter what. So Momochi will definitely find a way to play and, you know, solidify himself, and maybe also not get opened up low continuously, because Kazunoko countered that damn near every single time he stood up, he got put down with that crouching medium kick. It felt like in the last couple of rounds that they played, so something he'll have to shore up to as well.
Yeah. I think it's a fair assessment. I think there's a lot that goes into trying to readjust from classic to modern, right? You could get the combo routes down pat pretty easily. I think it's the reaction and the muscle memory. I feel like that really is hard to kick in because most of the time if you're trying to anti-air something, you'll go for like a crouch and punch or something. But you're only tied down to a single normal, right? You want to like try to do a dragon punch perhaps, but sometimes that doesn't go in your favor either, right? You forget like, oh, I can just do the shortcut if I need to, right? I feel like since you have another set of options to do the traditional, to make the traditional decisions that you were used to in Classic, that could be a little bit cumbersome, right? When you're trying to think about either I should TP, oh wait, I could do it, do the shortcut input. Your hands get kind of jumbled up. So I totally get that. I think I'm kind of curious to deep dive into how Momochi's been feeling with modern overall, right? And you talked about it, he's streaming his modern runs now. So if you guys want to get that in-depth analysis too, talk to him, hit him up on his chat, ask him all about it, right? Momochi's very much so open to it. He's talking to St. Cola. Every so often I'll pop in there, I'll say hello and hope he's well, and he'll just be like, hello, that's it, it's fine. But yeah, it's very beneficial to watch a lot of these players to kind of get an understanding of where their head's at with certain matchups, and also just certain controller schemes. But as of right now, Shinobism Gaming, they're currently at the top, sitting at first place with 30 points, as we've seen 2 back-to-back tiebreaker matches. Momochi had said that exact thing, and they're hoping to keep first place up until the end. That pretty much concludes our team battles for today, if I'm not mistaken. Man, these guys were really showing out for the second stage. What are your thoughts on it, man, looking into the stats?
Ooh, I think it's amazing that Shinobism Gaming is sitting at the top spot. You know, we see a lot of these anti-airs coming through. I thought there was a few more anti-airs. We did see that trade combo, which I think is really imperative and showcases how good Yamaguchi is. In fact, that may be my favorite stat right there, to be honest, is that trade conversion. Dogura did have more bust outs, it seems like. He had 2 out of 3. There's actually the best bust outs came from the side of Yamaguchi, but that trade conversion did show to me that Yamaguchi was way readier. He did tech more too as well. You see, he's had 2 out of 10 techs, 1 out of tech, 1 out of 7 techs on the side of Dogura's side. But back to that air exchange, that awareness and be able to capitalize on those things when given is what elevates him a little bit higher than Dogura currently right now. I think Dogura is like a great player. He's a great innate player and understanding what you want to do and what you want to throw out and like have like the psychic ability almost. But Yamaguchi seems so well labbed out. We saw that in the World Warrior tournaments where he was able to get that perfect charge for that DP, where he's able to get the conversion right here for the anti-air and get a nasty fault with Just Cool. That to me is like the next echelon with this character. And I remember people saying this character's ceiling's pretty low. I don't think so. I think Yamaguchi's showing us a lot more different with this character. There's a lot more hidden depths to this character that you can explore, and I think that's a good thing. You know, overall with this game, just in general, but with DJ especially, that's why I think he's also in contention for top 5. But anyway, who's top tier out here is Shinobism Gaming. They leave with the most amount of points today, 30, until they're in first place.
Yeah, not a bad way to shake things up, right? Going in from their transition in first stage into the second stage, you can't ask for anything better. Obviously, we're still waiting to see which one of these team battles will result in a full 40 bomb, but we're not going to find that out this week. In fact, we're going to be switching it up just a little bit going into next week. However, these were the results. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Going into it, the 2 sudden death matchups. GyoGun taking the best of Saishunkan Kumamoto, 25-20. DetonatioN FocusMe hanging on by the skin of their teeth, making it into the second stage, getting 25-20 against FAV Gaming. Then, of course, Shinobism Gaming scoring their 30 points, skyrocketing them to the very top. We still got so many more games to play and so many more points to earn and so many more matchups to divulge in. I highly encourage you guys all to get invested now, because once JP starts, man, and then EU starts, and then even NA starts, you're not going to be able to keep it up. But I'll tell you what, you'll want to tune in next week, because on the 17th, the morning of the 17th here in the West, but midday, actually possibly towards the evening in Japan, this is what you're looking at. Shinobism Gaming versus FAV Gaming, Saishunkan Kumamoto versus CYCLOPS Athlete Gaming Osaka, then DetonatioN FocusMe going up against the school of fish that is GyoGun. You do not want to miss it. Mark it on YouTube, mark it on Twitch, and also following along on Twitter. Capcom_esports is where you need to go.
Also, if you missed anything previously, go back and watch the VODs and get all caught up to how we got to this point. You know, we don't have good 8 squad. The Goyo Jabari Hiroshima Team Itsuka. They're sitting on the stands like some fans. To see how that occurred, go watch, get yourself caught up. We have a week until that happens, until we start off strong, and we start with even more Street Fighter League Japan action. This rounds out the rest of the weeks. The 17th, the 27th, the 31st, and of course the 10th in November. And it's only going to get further and further as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. We will see either a team, or we will see a team sit in that grand final spot, and the rest try to get as better position as possible for the seeding. You do not want to miss any of the action that happens here. You'll regret it.
Without a doubt. So you just tuned in to the very first episode of the second stage here at Street Fighter League Japan. We hope you guys enjoyed it as much as we have. It's going to be completely unpredictable going into it. But right now, as it stands, the meta is still evolving. The meta is getting stronger and stronger. Why? For this very reason. To gear up for Capcom Cup at the very end of it, because of that $2 million, excuse me, over $2 million prize pool, with first place walking away with $1 million. Of course, how to get there? We have so many different routes. Obviously, with the online premieres that have been going on since the beginning of the Capcom Pro Tour. One of the offline premieres actually is going to be happening up real soon, but there's 3 of them in total. One of them already passed with Evo, obviously. Speaking of which, take a look at what's coming up. Gamescom Asia in just a few more days. 10 more days where you need to get your butt over there. But just in case, sign up. Start.gg. Reserve your seat. Reserve your flight. Get over there. Because that player cap only at 1,024. Same with November 3rd through the 5th. Paris Games Week. You don't want to miss the French premiere. But overall, man, this is what you're looking forward to if you're in the land of the Pacific region. Singapore is going to be your designation for this offline premiere, and I highly guarantee you, I put my name on it as the internet's very own Vicious, that it's going to be explosive.
We saw the players sign up. I've seen my boy Noble. I've seen a lot of other Japanese players in the top spots sign up, prepare to get that one spot, because only one person walks away with that seat from CPT. And y'all can also join in and get this great merch. You know, I will be watching from the sidelines along with the rest, but I'll definitely watch the bloodbath occur, and y'all should definitely join in. If you're there, grab some of these fantastic shirts. I hope they can ship one over to us, because, you know, this purple's great, but I'd like to wear something with a little bit of, you know, Manon on it. But anyway, keep it locked and little on everything Street Fighter 6. The World Warrior for Japan will be happening real soon. I think it's the 14th or 15th, around that time period. And there's even more after that. We have a lot more tournaments happening too, as well as all the World Warriors, you know, wind down. So if your regions are coming up, sign up ASAP, get in those top spots so you have your chance to be in the regional finals. So you can also compete in the finals. We're still trying to find out who's going to be in the finals for one of these teams in Street Fighter League Japan. And again, it's so hard to call. The fact that Good 8 Squad is out, bro, I have no idea. But again, sign up ASAP for the Pro Tour. Get in there immediately. If your CPT has already passed, you still have the World Warriors to join. You can still come through and come through correct, because we do set, as we said, there's a $1 million prize pool, bro. That is insane. You're not going to be changed by that amount. So sign up ASAP.
You could buy my student loans if you wanted to, if you really want to change some people's lives with that kind of money. But I'll tell you what, right now, sign up for World Warrior Japan #4. If you can't sign up, well, mark your calendars. It's happening this weekend. Again, October 14th, 1300 start time, Japan Standard Time, of course. What it is on the internet for the Pacific time, a little bit more complicated than that. You're gonna have to Google it yourself. I'm no time teller, but I will tell you this: you've witnessed all the action. You can't wait for the next one. We'll see you on Tuesday for the second episode of Street Fighter League Japan. Good night.
無料なんでね、この YouTube の概要欄からもエントリーの詳細も確認できるので、ぜひね、ちょっと大会経験してみてはいかがでしょうか。
はい。いや本当にすごい日常にはない緊張感が味わえると思いますので、ぜひちょっとプレイしてるよって方は、参加していただければと思います。はい。
これエントリー方法分かりづらいという方に向けても、このカプコンプラザ2023のワールドウォリアー日本大会エントリー方法の説明動画を、作成いたしました。これね、僕らが最後バイバイっつってクロージングするんですけど、その後に流れるみたいなので、ぜひチェックの方もよろしくお願いいたします。そして先ほどアナウンスさせていただきました修正した順位表が出る。仕事が早い、はい、ありがとうございます。こちらが正しい ものになっております。皆さんもねぜひ確認していただければと思います。
でもちょっとまだまだ本当に今日初日だったわけですけども、その40-0がなかったんで、まだなんかどこのチームがうんぬんみたいなのがまだないですよね。ちょっと CAG が苦しんでいる状態ではあるんですけど、全然ここからひっくり返せますからね。
さあというところでこちら順位をご覧いただきました。以上をもちましてストリートファイターリーグプロ JP 2023セカンドステージ第1節3試合終了とさせていただきます。実況私ヤマト、そして解説ははめこさんでお送りいたしました。それでは次節でお会いいたしましょう。それまでさようなら。
さようなら。